BBC Radio Devon Sport.
Yeah, following your side as we do each and every week here on BBC Radio Devon. Now, if you're listening on the BBC Sport website, we've got live National League South action for you. Torquay United, they go away today. They are away against Enfield, and let's take you across to your commentary team there at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium. It's Tom Diamond and Harry Salvage. If you're listening on BBC Radio Devon, DAB Digital Radio across the county, Plymouth and West Devon on 95.7 FM. It's Argyle away against Bristol City with former Argyle striker Martin Gritton, who's with Michael McCann. And here across Devon on 103.4 FM, in Exeter on 95.8, Freeview Channel 712, and around the UK on the BBC Sport website and on the BBC Sounds app as well. It's Exeter City against Chesterfield. We're hoping the Grecians get through to round 3 this afternoon. Tricky test, though, against League 2 opposition at St James Park. Your commentary team is the Exeter City women's captain, Bo Jackson, who's with John Ayres.
Yes, good afternoon, and you join us just as the teams are coming out onto the pitch here at St James Park. And first of all, we have some news straight away. There has been a late change to the Chesterfield lineup as a result of an injury during the warm-up. So Paddy Madden, their striker, is off and out, and coming in is Will Grigg, the former £4 million striker for Sunderland, comes in at number 9. So that's a change to Chesterfield. Will Grigg coming in at number 9 and Paddy Madden going off. So Will Grigg, who's scored 9 goals this season so far, coming straight into the lineup this afternoon. Now the two sides are just lining up and going down the line and shaking hands. FA Cup fever time. I mean, always I love the FA Cup, Bo. I'm sure you do too, but I mean, on paper, Exeter are at home. They're playing a side that are mid-table, a league below them. They should win this, but anything can happen, can't it?
That means nothing, exactly as you just said. Like, you put it in one way, as you say, on paper it should be a game for City, but the reality is the emotions are everywhere, and Chesterfield have every opportunity now to take this today because they've got nothing to lose. It's a free hit. Everything that they do, the fans are going to be behind them, whereas Exeter, they've got expectations to be doing something this game, which doesn't always help the Grecians, as we know.
Well, in terms of the stats, and here's the thing, of course, they were a non-league side until this season. They got promoted from the National League as champions, but for the 3 seasons previous in the National League, they reached the 3rd round every time. Exeter City, on the other hand, haven't reached it once. In fact, it's been 4 years ago since Exeter City reached the 3rd round. But you know, the stat I'm going to go with, Bo, the most important stat of them all, is every time you and I have got together this season, Exeter City have won.
Oh, we've had some good games, right?
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Yeah, so, exactly. It's going to be... I'm hoping we're breaking that trend this year. You know, Exeter have done things this season which we haven't seen for a while anyway. And the commitment they put on the field, the performances they're playing, I'm hoping that takes it forward today. And Chesterfield come with that little bit of confidence, meaning that they push players on a little bit more. They really drive a little bit forward, which just opens up the space for Exeter for them to allow to really drive in on the keeper and just... We said it off air, but I think that first goal is going to be crucial today. I think more so than ever. And I mean, we're looking back to that Barnet game that we both did. I mean, incredible match, 5-3. I think Barnet took us all by surprise by coming at Exeter in the way they did. But I guess now that it's a one-off game, no replays, it actually forces the away team to have a go, doesn't it? You can't just sit back like you could with the replays. Yeah, definitely. And from a fan perspective, you know, there's controversially around that decision that was made by the FA, but actually, from a fan point of view, they're going to get entertaining games on every level now, rather than having to potentially wait for that replay. I mean, financially, it's a different story, but from a fan aspect of watching a game, every FA Cup game now should be exciting and good to watch. Well, we're about to get underway, and to Exeter City's advantage, I always feel, they are kicking away from the big bank in the first half. Chesterfield will get us underway in their blue tops with white trim, blue shorts, white socks. Exeter City in their regular home kit, red and white stripes, black short red socks. It's going to be Michael Jacobs who's going to get us underway, free from Portsmouth.
and he's been around, this guy. I mean, Wigan, Wolves, Derby, Northampton, Blackpool, you name it. But he gets the match underway, and Chesterfield start the game, and they launch the ball over to the right-hand side. Bit of a tussle between Ryan Coldclough and Ed Francis, but the ball's out. It goes out for a throw-in to Exeter City, and they take it quickly and they drop it back to Tristan Kramer. Then to Whitworth, the goalkeeper, and he knocks it across the penalty area over to the far side, and Exeter City have it. Ryan Woods just drops it back to Pierce Sweeney on the corner of the penalty area. Sweeney takes his time, sends the ball forward along the ground up to Aitchison. It's played back now forward to McGuinness on the halfway line. He tried to knock it through, but the teammate I think he was hoping was going to be there wasn't, and it's given up to Chesterfield, but then they lose it quickly as well. So the ball is played on the left side. Is Malenik Ali. He keeps the ball in play on the touchline. No, he doesn't. I thought he did personally, but
I thought he did there. But an interesting tactic already. Like, Chesterfield have set up before at the back, and already Exeter are putting that 3 on them, just putting them under a little bit of pressure. But the space already is going to be out wide for Exeter, and I think Ed Francis there playing the ball to Ali really showed that in the first pass.
Shackelford takes the throw. Forward it goes. Ed Francis with a tackle on Coldclough. It comes down. Shackelford kicks it forward again, but all it does is goes harmlessly out of play for a throw-in. Taken quickly by Francis. Drops it back to Kramer. Kramer's got a bit of room. In the end decides to just play it back to Whitworth so that Exeter can position themselves how they want. And then he drops it back into Kramer on the edge of the penalty area. Forward it goes to Ryan Woods in the middle. He knocks it out to Malenik Ali on the halfway line near the touchline. Malenik Ali's got 2 players round him. In the end, he plays it back to Francis. Didn't have a lot of options available to him. That's squared to Kramer, who sends the ball along the edge of the penalty area out towards Sweeney on the other side. Sweeney just brings it back inside. Macmillan to Kramer. Exeter at the moment just knocking it around at the back and keeping possession. Sweeney, forward it goes, manages to pick out Aitchison. Aitchison looking down the channel, hoping to find the run of Niskanen. Comes in quickly. Niskanen's got space from the throw-in quickly, down on the side of the penalty area, pulls it back, left-footed cross into the area, up it goes into the air. It's not away properly. Second time Shackelford clears it, and it goes to the halfway line, and it'll be Tristan Kramer who picks up the loose ball. Kramer takes his time, back to Sweeney over in the middle of the Exeter half. Sweeney looks around, foot on the ball, sends it out wide to Niskanen. Niskanen tried to put a diagonal ball into McGuinness. It's intercepted. Chesterfield have it back, and they now play the ball over to the left hand side, just inside the Exeter half. That's a good ball up towards the corner of the penalty area. Will Grigg is lurking in the middle, but they still have it. No, they don't. Good bit of tackling there from Tristan Kramer to win it back for Exeter, and Kramer finds Ali on the left hand side. Ali will go up against Shackelford, knocks it into the middle. This is neat from Exeter, although pass slightly overplayed for Ali, but he still keeps hold of it. Down on this left hand side, he'll go up against Shackelford, step over, puts the ball in, but it falls straight to a blue shirt, and it's cleared by Chesterfield. Only as far as Woods. Woods will bring it forward again. He's coming up towards the edge of the penalty area, chips it out to Niskanen, who's got space inside the area. Niskanen pulls it back, Aitchison shoots! Good save from the goalkeeper, diving to his left. Niskanen, second time, tries to get the ball over. Goal kick, but a good effort from Exeter City.
Yeah, really positive start there by Exeter. They've kept the ball nicely, they've played it from left to right to the field, and just that last bit of play there, they're nice 1-2 between Woods and Ali, and they're just really making the pitch look big for Exeter, and it's a really nice intricate play by them all. I think we said it initially, but the outside of the space here, Chesterfield at the moment are playing so narrow, trying to maintain that space, but Ali and Nixon on either side of Exeter are really creating space for Exeter, and there's a lot of success down those wings so far.
So the ball is cleared downfield by the goalkeeper for Chesterfield. The ball is high up in the air, and we hear that Enfield have taken the lead against Torquay United with a penalty right to the start of the game, just in the second minute of that match. Exeter City at the moment again trying to push forward. The goalkeeper has to come to the edge of his box to clear, and it will drop just inside the Exeter City half. Here comes Exeter then, as Richards drops it back to Kramer inside his own half. Kramer, square to Sweeney. Exeter again just finding their composure to move the ball around as they wish to. Niskanen on to Aitchison, just inside the Chesterfield half. Knocks it inside. Macmillan drops it back to Sweeney again. Like a game of chess the way Exeter City are playing this at the moment, looking for the space, looking for their move, although that wasn't such a good pass off Woods that time, unusually for him, although it came off the Chesterfield player and it's gone out for a throw. It's taken quickly. Sweeney to Kramer, midway inside their own half. Goes from the right side over to the left to Ed Francis. He's got Richards in front of him and Ali, but decides to pull it back in towards Kramer. Kramer out to Sweeney on the right hand side. Sweeney, long ball. McGuinness and Niskanen both running forward. Just slightly too strong for Niskanen, and it goes out for a throw.
Yeah, but good vision there. Chesterfield playing just slightly high at the moment, and not the quickest back line that we've seen Exeter play against, so all they're looking at the moment is just putting the ball behind, making the Chesterfield defenders turn, and at the moment Exeter are beating them on that width and on that speed of just getting to the ball first. But we've said it before in other games, you know, they're doing well at the moment, but we've had one strike in, which was a fantastic strike and save, but needs to be a little bit more at the moment with that quality on that last pass.
So it's Chesterfield then, deep inside their own half, trying to clear their lines. They get the ball up towards the halfway line. Kramer nods it down. Woods just flicks it out to the side, picks out Sweeney. Exeter City do well to hold possession here. Aitchison try to get it down the channel, out for Chesterfield Road. Premier League, Wolves 0, Bournemouth 1 is the latest. In the FA Cup, of course, it's finished now. Wilston 0, Wickham 2 in the FA Cup. No goals anywhere else at the moment that's in matches that are taking place. So the goalkeeper Thompson sends it out to Shackelford for Chesterfield on this right. He sends it back to his goalkeeper. It's high up in the air. Down it comes. It will be knocked on. But in the end, Exeter City take it back quite calmly. Now, I might regret saying this, but certainly in the early stages of this game, it feels nothing like the Barnet game. You get the sense that Chesterfield feel a lot more on the back foot than Barnet did.
Yeah, completely. I think it's a different style of play as well. Like, Chesterfield are all locked in, they're holding back, they're allowing Exeter to play, and what Exeter are doing really well so far is finding those half spaces in between those lines of defence and just finding those balls to just knock it around. And what's really nice to see, which I haven't seen in the last few games, is Exeter is moving the ball quickly. They're not holding the ball for 4 or 5 touches, they're getting it and playing it, which is making Chesterfield move even more, and it's good football to watch at the moment.
Francis for Exeter, he's looking for Ali on this left hand side and he finds him. That's a beautiful pass. Ali into the box, tries to pull the ball back, looking for somewhere to send it, drops it back. Now it's with Richards down on the corner of the penalty area. He's got Ali to his left, uses Ali, who's got a bit more space. They find the gap. Woods inside the penalty area. He's got players all round him though. Woods has to double back heel onto Ali. Ali with the cross into the box, headed away by Chesterfield. They did well to get that away. They're under some serious pressure there, but Exeter have won it straight back, and Ed Francis just dinks the ball back to Kramer on the halfway line to keep possession for the Grecians. Now it's Woods. Woods right-footed out towards that right-hand side, and Macmillan has it for Exeter and will bring it forward.
It's a fantastic kind of movement. Again, they was patient there as well, just keeping the ball, not having to kind of just deliver empty crosses, really building up the play to allow players to get into that box. But yeah, good play again by Exeter, and it looks positive and exciting to watch so far.
Offside against Exeter. Midway inside the Chesterfield half, so they take their indirect free kick quickly. They send it back to the goalkeeper. It's knocked down the middle. Grigg tried to just push himself past Kramer but couldn't do so. Ed Francis mops up and Whitworth has the ball at his feet and he clears up towards the halfway line. Niskanen tries to nod it on, but it just drops into Grimes's path for Chesterfield, and Chesterfield, to keep possession, hit it long back from the halfway line all the way back to their goalkeeper Thompson. And the Newcastle United loanee sends it out towards the right-hand side. Here's Shackelford, drops it back. And Thompson has it again. Left-footed, out towards that left side. And it will be held up by Horton. But he loses control of it. The ball is out of play. It's an Exeter City throw down by the side of the Chesterfield penalty area, over on the far side, in front of the Adam Stansfield stand. And it'll be Sweeney who's going to take it. In it comes. It's dropped in short. Sweeney, Macmillan. Oh, bit tight in there now. Can McGuinness get there before the goalkeeper? No, he can't. Thompson has to rush out and boot it down the field. And Exeter have possession again inside their own half. Kramer decides to take no chances and just sends it back to his keeper. And Whitworth, the Palace loanee, takes his time and just gives it to Kramer on the edge of the penalty area, who looks for Sweeney out on the right. Back inside to Macmillan, back to Kramer. To Francis, up forward towards Woods on this left-hand side. Ali's perhaps looking, he was thinking about making the run. Woods in the end looks for the diagonal ball to the other side and picks out Niskanen. And the Finnish international just comes towards the corner of the penalty area, sends the cross in, very nearly an own goal. Jamie Grimes has to kick it away towards his right-hand side, and that's going to be Exeter City's first corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, really good vision there by Woods. He's on the left-hand side of the field, just picks out Nicholson on the other side, but I think the credit there for that ball coming in from Nicholson was looking at Josh McGuinness in the middle. He's going in front of his player, behind the player. The defender is a little bit confused there, which has caused that kind of ruckus in the middle between the keeper and the defender, causing that that corner kick. So yeah, really good work rate in the middle by McGuinness.
So 10 minutes gone then, still 0-0 here at St James Park. You're listening to it live on BBC Radio Devon. And Exeter City have a corner, and it's a low in swinger. It drops into the face, it hits Bodies. McGuinness! Oh, it's cleared off the line, it hits Bodies, and it goes out for another corner. But for a moment there, Chesterfield will be breathing a sigh of relief, because you really thought Exeter were going to score. The defence really are stretched.
Yeah, fantastic movement there by Kramer, and then again McGuinness just coming in with that half volley, but fantastic defending by Chesterfield just to get Bodies behind.
Corner again, another low one. That time it only falls to the near post, and it's batted away by the player on that near post, and it's picked up by Niskanen near the halfway line for Exeter. Inside it goes. Richards with a bit of room. Oh, he tried to get it out wide, but it hit Jack Aitchison somewhere unpleasant. It's flicked forward and half cleared, but now Chesterfield have it back in the shape of Oldacre. Exeter try and win it. They keep possession. McGuinness takes a shot. It's blocked, and so it's picked up by Coldclough on this right-hand side. He'll drop it back to Shackelford. Shackelford into the middle, and Woods pushed the player over to me, but the referee has allowed it to go, and it's back to Shackelford again, and he plays it back to Thompson. But at the moment, Exeter City well on top in this game, and you kind of always feel that when you're on top like this, you need to score.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The energy's there, the composure's there, but I feel even the last 10 minutes, Chesterfield started slow, but they are gaining that little bit more understand of what it is to be at that next level above, and it wouldn't surprise me at all in the next 15 minutes that we see them really come to life.
So the ball is played towards the right-hand side. Coldclough sends it down the channel. That's a good pass in towards Naylor. Well, he wanted a free kick, but he's not getting one. Kramer wins the ball off him. The Exeter fans enjoy that. Here's Woods. Woods just knocks it back to Kramer. And Kramer takes his time, looks around and plays it along the ground in towards Macmillan. Macmillan takes his time, out towards the wide right, in towards Sweeney. Sweeney pushes it back into the middle for Woods. Woods looking for Ali to make that run again. Ali, could he get beyond Shackelford? Couldn't quite, very nearly did though. And Chesterfield get it down. Woods with a shoulder barge wins the ball. The Chesterfield player's unhappy, felt he was fouled, but referee felt it was a legitimate shoulder barge. The ball is played out to Niskanen, right-hand side of the penalty area. Low cross into the box, clattered away by Chesterfield. Ball will come back in again. Oh, it didn't quite land that time. And although Aitchison had just won it back cheaply off Grimes, and Exeter have it back again. Sweeney, Woods, back to Sweeney. Sweeney takes a moment, lifts it up over the top. They're onside, is Niskanen bursting into the box. Niskanen knocks it into the middle. Oh, just fell beyond McGuinness. You've got to ask yourself, why didn't he shoot? You do got to ask that.
I mean, it's a fantastic one-on-one, and you're thinking everything's saying shoot, but he felt like that was a better pass to Josh McGuinness, but say the angle was just all wrong. I would have wished he had shot there as well.
Yeah, should have shot. Yeah, but as it stands, it's now a free kick to Chesterfield just inside the Exeter half after a couple of rather wayward challenges. And Shackelford will take. And the referee having a good old word with Ed Francis about that. In terms of possession, Exeter City 64% at the moment. Obviously 3 chances to Chesterfield's none. It's the way it's gone so far. They try to slip the ball through to Will Grigg, but that was a poor ball really, and Exeter City have it back. The referee gets in the way though of Exeter for a moment, and the ball falls back to a Chesterfield player. Ball is played square into the middle, and now it's with Grimes. The former Hereford man takes his time and then plays it towards the left, then receives it back again. And Chesterfield being forced back into their own half, deep into their own half. They knock it back to Thompson. Thompson launches it long down the middle, aiming for Grigg. Grigg knocks it wide out towards Berry out on that far side. Berry will now try and go up against Macmillan. Berry tries to loop the ball into the middle, but no real problem for Exeter. They have it back and now they're moving again on this left-hand side. Very open game, this one. Here comes Ali on the left, going up against Shackelford. He's going to try and come inside. He slots the ball neatly. This is an opportunity. To be fair to Grimes, that was a very good bit of defending. He got between Aitchison and the ball to prevent him from getting that final shot as Thompson was coming out. Yeah,
and it's a fantastic run from Aitchison there from the midfield, just driving straight across the line of the defence, which is a really hard ball to kind of defend, and he's unfortunate there not to get anything more from it. But it's interesting watching the tactics at the moment. I'm not sure if it's tactical or emotion or attitude, I'm not sure, but at the moment Chesterfield are leaving so many players up top and trying to gamble in terms of Exeter driving forward, so we'll just put more up top. But at the moment Chesterfield can't get through Exeter's press, or that attacking third for Exeter is where all the action's happening, and I feel like Chesterfield are just putting too many bodies forward and allowing Exeter to have more space in those attacking thirds.
The other thing that's surprising me is on the wings, both Niskanen and Ali are getting beyond their marker when the long ball comes in, and that's going to be obviously very worrying for Chesterfield.
Yeah, huge. You said at the beginning, didn't we, about Chesterfield have got an experienced side, but Exeter have got a lot of speed, and whether that speed's going to come into play today, but at the moment so far it's been the key difference between both sides.
So Oldacre stands over the ball, former Gillingham trainee, and it's knocked out wide. Clough, he's got Ali with him, he knocks it back to Shackelford. Now it's with Naylor. Naylor squared on towards Williams. Now with Grimes. Grimes will left-footed drive a long ball down that left-hand side, but it's pushed away by Macmillan. Picked up by Jacobs. Chesterfield have it still. They build on the edge of the penalty area, but knocked it a bit further back as Exeter get bodies behind the ball. Shackelford out towards the wide right. Now it's Clough. Challenge goes in. Referee says play on. Shackelford again. Knocks it inside. Shackelford with Ali with him. He's forced back and he has to play it long back to his keeper, who's halfway up the pitch. And Thompson to Grimes again, and they play the ball out towards that left-hand side, but Exeter almost win it back. They'll have a second go. They do win it back. Now is one for Niskanen to chase it and just keep it in play. No, he can't. It was rolling down the touchline. so close, but the linesman's flag just went up before he could get his foot round it.
It's the energy he brings though to the game, isn't it? So to give a bit of context on it, the ball's a little bit of a knock. Exeter didn't win it back, but Nixon's gone for the second one. He's on the floor and then they've passed him the ball while he's still on the floor, and he still only just missed it. He just brings that energy on that right hand side of the field, which it's really hard to kind of defend against, isn't it? Let alone when he's defended.
17 minutes gone, still 0-0. Exeter City have had the lion's share of this so far, but just haven't quite managed to break Chesterfield down, but they've certainly given them a scare or two, particularly from one of their corners. But it's Chesterfield at the moment who will take the throw just inside their own half. They drop it back to Grimes. Grimes back to his keeper Thompson. Thompson takes a moment, then chips it back out towards that left-hand side. It's Grimes again, corner of his own penalty area. Left-footed, Aitchison coming in on him, although it's a long ball straight through the middle, well past Griggs, and it falls all the way through to Whitworth, who just knocks it out to Kramer quickly. And here come Exeter. Francis. Played back by Macmillan to Kramer, out wide. Sweeney on the far side, inside his own half. Sweeney. Now I thought Niskanen was miles offside, but the flag has stayed. Oh no, it's gone up now, I was going to say. Obviously the linesman clearly waiting for the referee's decision there, because that was as offside as it gets.
Yeah, I think so. It's just waiting on that thing. And the thing is, he doesn't need to though. Like, we're talking, he's 3/4 of the way up on the attacking half. Like, he doesn't need to be that stood offside there. He's got the pace to beat his marker.
Well, the ball comes out towards Shackelford on this right-hand side. He just does enough to keep it away from Ali, but he couldn't keep it away from Woods. And Woods has done well, stood up, controlled it, and now has possession back for Exeter. looks left towards Ali on the touchline. Ali now will again try and jink and turn and move inside and spread the ball to Niskanen on the other side. Niskanen in towards Macmillan, back out to Niskanen, overcomes the low cross. Aitchison turns and shoots, but didn't really have the power in the turn, and it goes straight through to Thompson in the Chesterfield goal.
No, Aitchison picking it up in the middle there. He's turned his body directly on the defender and back to goal, looking for that kind of flick on to someone ahead of, or behind him, but there was just no one there. Exeter was all cramped around him, so the only option he had then was to spin and turn, and as you said, there was just not enough power in it. They were just a little bit too congested there, but again, take the positives. It was a good ball in, and they're threatening Chesterfield still with these attacking plays.
Bit of a shame there for Exeter, because the ball came in behind the front players rather than in front of them. I think it might have been very different if it just been slightly a little bit further forward, but it's going to be a... What's it given? He's given a throw into Exeter City. 20-minute mark, and it's still 0-0. But as we say, the Grecians have had the lion's share of this so far. No actual chances for Chesterfield yet. And Sweeney takes his time. To Kramer. No urgency from Exeter at the minute, as Kramer, long ball out for Aitchison, but straight out into the hoardings over by the railway.
Yeah, we said it, didn't we? The first 10 minutes of a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and Chesterfield have just kind of matched that a little bit, or Exeter have dropped. But we're not seeing that same level.
And again, it's just caught offside. Again, only just fractionally offside. And they get an indirect free kick just inside their own half, and then it's launched to the right. It's chested down by Coldclough. Coldclough does well. He's got away from Francis. He's just slotted it through. This could be dangerous, but as Naylor tried to get his crossover, it's blocked down by Exeter City, and that's Chesterfield's first corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit of complacency for me there. I mean, the ball's come over to Francis, and he's dealt with the first ball really well, but rather than either clearing his lines and rebuilding or trying to get it under control and build forward, he's tried to instead flick the ball back over his marker, and that's where he's lost it and unfortunately put Exeter on the back foot.
Corner kick. So ball comes in towards the near post, headed away by Exeter, headed away second time by the Grecians, and the ball is rolling back towards the halfway line. Shackelford gets there first and plays it long back to his keeper Thompson. Thompson, forward it goes from Horton out towards the left, back to Thompson. So Thompson, the goalkeeper, takes his time and then launches it down the middle, but Kramer will win the header and it will fall to Ali, and Ali will just flick it back to Francis to make sure that Exeter keep possession. He touches it to Kramer, and Kramer again just takes his time, looks around and looks out wide towards Sweeney. Sweeney back inside, and Exeter have it on the left this time with Francis. Francis knocks it back into the middle. Macmillan to Kramer, out to Sweeney on the right, just coming up towards the halfway line over on the far side. The ball comes up towards, he looking for Niskanen. They keep hold of it, Exeter. A bit of a tussle. In the end, Chesterfield get a foot in there to clear, but it's back in the Exeter half in the shape of Kramer. Now it's with Francis. Woods takes a moment, drops it back to Francis. Francis to Kramer. Diagonal ball out to Niskanen with lots of room on the right. Niskanen now will go up against the left back. Tries to come inside, didn't quite get the ball through, but the loose ball will fall to Woods, and Woods gets it onto Ali. This is good stuff for the Grecians. Ali tries to get in the box, low shot towards the near post, and the goalkeeper had to get down to it.
Yeah, good possession again from Exeter there. We're seeing the patience of moving the ball around left to right, but it's that last end product again. So Ali and Nixon there, both hitting the ball and both deciding what to do with it. And at the moment, their first preference is to take on the player, but there's not enough then movement in the middle to be able to find a pass or run ahead of their front man. So then they've got to look at what's the next option. Is it better to do a 1-2 and get players out, or to take the ball in themselves and have the shot themselves? But there needs to be something different at the moment, because they're getting to that end point and then it's all breaking down because of a lack of movement or like combination play with them.
So here come Chesterfield then. Jacobs coming up towards the halfway line. Richards gets the challenge in. That'll be a throw to Chesterfield inside the Exeter half, just over the halfway line on that far side over near the railway. We've passed the midway point in this first half. It's still 0-0 and the ball comes in. You're listening to it live on BBC Radio Devon as the ball is touched back. Grimes to Williams to Shackelford on this left side, but Shackelford loses control of the ball. Still in play. I was going to say the ball was well over the ball was well over the line. The thing is, this is obviously a thing between referees because they're all on comms. The linesman's flag doesn't go straight up. It's almost like he's waiting for the referee's signal. So the ball's well over the line. It's obviously out, but there was no flag until someone said, "Yeah, put your flag up now." Ali goes inside. McGuinness couldn't quite get on the end of it. Who's that come off? It's come off a Chesterfield player, and it's going to be an extra throw. Francis will take and drops it in quickly towards Kramer. Kramer looking for his options. In the end, Exeter City have just doubled back deep into their own half for a moment. Got to be careful here because Macmillan was suddenly put under pressure by Jacobs. They've got it back to Whitworth in goal, and Whitworth clears up through the middle, and it'll be McGuinness who brings the ball down. Thought he might have used his hand, but referees let it go, and Chesterfield get it long back to their goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's just Chesterfield have worked out their distances between one another and defensively, so the midfield aren't getting as much success from Exeter because they're not finding those spaces because Chesterfield are in better positions. But it's now, trouble solving on the pitch. Like, what are they going to do next? Are they going to keep the same movements? Are they going to change it up again? Because they need to do something to block Chesterfield's kind of reaction to their start of play.
Well, the referee was going to give a free kick to Chesterfield. He's played the advantage. The ball's in the middle of the park at the moment, but Chesterfield still chasing it over on the far side with Berry, but Berry's been beaten off it, and Exeter clear their lines from Niskanen. So although they win it back, no they don't. Bit of a tussle. Free kick given Exeter City's way. So in the FA Cup so far, Accrington 1, Swindon 0, Crawley 2, Lincoln 1. Oh, Exeter City with an opportunity. The ball was launched long upfield for Niskanen to chase, but keeper Thompson, I can't get it out. Thompson was alive to it and got there first to nod it away as the ball was taken quickly. So it's still Chesterfield again. Peterborough 1, Notts County 2, Salford 2, Cheltenham 0, Stockport 2, Brackley 0, Walsall 0, Charlton 1. They're all the matches in the FA Cup at the moment with goals. Richards turns quickly, but I think he felt his foul, but he wasn't. Exeter kept hold of the ball. Here's Ali, left-hand side. We'll go up against Shackelford again. He's got Aitchison making a run on the left. He uses him. Aitchison down near the corner flag. He's got Shackelford on him, looking for that room to try and deliver the ball somewhere. In the end, finds Francis behind him, and Francis knocks it back to Kramer. Kramer just taking a moment because McGuinness and Aitchison are both offside at the minute. Ball goes forward on the right if Niskanen can get there. Yes, he can. He cuts inside. He hits it left-footed, hits a body. Manages to do enough to get the ball away from the Chesterfield player. Woods hits it. Keeper makes the save. It's parried away, and they have to try and bat it away. In the end, Horton manages. He cleared it, hit the Exeter player, and it goes out for a goal kick. But again, Chesterfield under pressure.
And what a fantastic touch there is from Nixon there on the right hand side. The way he's taken that ball and just taking that defender out of the game. The central defender has had to come across to kind of cover that option, allowing that space to shoot, and the rebound coming out to Woods then. Both good shots, both good defending by Chesterfield, but you're just looking at those little margins which need to be slightly better. I go back to the bit that when Ali was coming through on goal and Aitchison's passing the ball, but it's just behind him, so it's taking him that extra touch to go forward, and then he's having to go around the outside, but it's just those little passes at the moment that are just the quality in those decisions aren't quite there, which are causing a millisecond slower reaction, which is allowing Chesterfield to kind of be ahead of the game and put in these good defensive movers. That Chesterfield are playing well defensively, but they're not doing anything special. I think they're just defending the mistakes that Exeter are causing.
Well, we've got a break in play, and both sides are taking a quick water break while there's a Chesterfield player receiving treatment at the moment. And I think, Chesterfield will probably want this as a moment to try and regroup, because Exeter City were starting to build a bit of steam there. But at the moment in the Premier League. It's Brentford 1, Leicester 0. Palace, Newcastle is goalless, as is Forest versus Ipswich. Wolves 1, Bournemouth 3 at the moment in the Premier League.
Well, a lot of goals, isn't there?
There is a lot of goals. Not quite the same, sadly, in the FA Cup this afternoon. But certainly of our featured games here, it's still 0-0 between Bristol City and Plymouth Argyle. Torquay United trailing by a goal to 0 at Enfield. That, of course, an early goal in that match after only 2 minutes. So Torquay United have work to do there. Anyway, play's about to resume, and the goalkeeper has the ball, and it will be a goal kick. Half an hour gone. That's Thompson. Newcastle Loney will get ready to take this kick. He's only kept 2 clean sheets this season, not quite the same as Whitworth down the other end. As the ball is played forward, Kramer gets the header, kicked forward back again by Chesterfield. Woods back to Kramer. Kramer then swings the ball across the park to Niskanen. Niskanen is up against Horton, tries to stick it down the channel, but there's no one up there, and Chesterfield will just collect and will take their time, and Grimes will push it forward onto Oldacre. Horton decides to send it long back to his keeper Thompson, and Thompson will take a moment and will left-footed drive the ball into the space where Ed Francis is, and Francis is going to just let that roll out of play, and it goes out for a throw, and it's taken straight away, and it's straight into Kramer on the edge of his own penalty area to Sweeney. Sweeney out wide. McMillan just up the channel towards Aitchison. Aitchison pulls the ball back and then knocks it back to Sweeney. Just again, Exeter keeping possession, driving it across the park in towards Francis on this left-hand side. Ali looking away, hoping to make a run. McGuinness tried to make it, but the ball through wasn't a good one. Foul there by Ali. Cheap foul on Tom Naylor. Free kick.
But what Exeter are doing, they're being patient in keeping the ball, but they're just not making that final decision to then attack. Like, Chesterfield are playing really well. They're playing a high line to try and stop those balls going in there. They're kind of allowing the balls to be played, but then allowing their keeper just to pick up and sweep around. But they've got to make a decision. They've got to make some sort of movement or pass into the midfield to then unlock some spaces. But at the moment, that Chesterfield cleverly are allowing Exeter to just slowly come out, and then nothing happens, and then they're just playing the offside trap effectively, and frustrating Exeter, it seems like, on the pitch from at the moment.
We've got another stoppage here. Torquay United have equalised in North London. It's Enfield 1, Torquay United 1. And as I say, another stoppage. So
back to the goals, is it?
yeah. Back to looking at the score lines. This is where commentators have to earn their money, of course, because we have to keep filling the space while nothing's going on. So, but once again, the managers are dishing out instructions to their players, and the Chesterfield player at the moment receiving a bit of treatment down in the centre circle, but I think we're going to be back underway. In fact, I think there's going to be a substitution, because Chesterfield do appear to be having problems here. As we heard earlier, I mean, Madden failing a late fitness test just before kick-off obviously changed things, because I mean, Will Grigg, I might regret saying this, hasn't really had any impact in this game so far. Right, there's going to be a substitution. Jacobs is coming off, and coming on is Armando Dobra. So he's coming from Ipswich. He's played for the Albanian under-21s. So a little bit of international experience, and it's a free kick to Chesterfield. As Williams stands over the ball. Williams looking around for his options, and takes the free kick eventually. Goes forward. It's a jump from Sweeney. Ball comes down. Exeter City win it back, and that's a lovely, unlucky really. I mean, it's a good effort. Richards tried to swing the ball through for Ali. In the end, it just overplayed it, but the idea was right.
Yeah, just a bit too narrow there. A little bit more to the 18-yard box sides, and it would have been fine, but keeper was just able to comfortably pick that up.
Foul. Woods again shaking his head, but he's been penalised. It'll be a free kick to Chesterfield. just inside their own half. They take it quickly, they launch it long over to the far side for Berry. Berry keeps it in, he's going to go up against Macmillan on the side of the penalty area, gets his cross into the box, Kramer heads it away. He'll be chased over by Horton, he'll watch it go out of play for a throw. Horton takes it quickly, here's the sub Dobra, although he's lost it, and now Exeter City have possession. Niskanen up to Aitchison near the halfway line. He's flicked it over the top. That's a nice ball. Niskanen will dart onto it. It's bounced past Niskanen, but he's kept possession. He's cut back. Niskanen still there on the edge of the box. Couldn't quite make it work, and Chesterfield have got it away. And now Chesterfield might try and come on the counter. Here's Will Grigg. Plays the ball into the centre of the park. Now it will be Dobra who will march forward with it. He's got Aitchison chasing him. Dobra still making the run. They've got it over to the byline on the far side. They'll cut the ball back. Offside.
You know what, they're looking dangerous, aren't they, attacking? Chesterfield, when they attack, they're breaking down lines quickly, and there's not that defensive shape in the centre of the park for Exeter, causing a lot of space for the attacking players. But I mean, you look at kind of Exeter going forward there. Niskanen is doing so well beating his players, but his game is not that final product, and he's not having that third player run or players around him to then be able to pass off that ball, and Chesterfield are marking him out of the game quite well.
Well, Torquay United have turned things round in North London. It's now Enfield 1, Torquay United 2. So that's a good recovery from them after going down to that early goal, a penalty. And ball is played back to Thompson in the Chesterfield goal. Got 9 minutes of normal time in this first half. Shackelford. Ali tries to batter him off the ball. And Shackelford kept to his feet, and then he's given it away. It's a throw, and Francis will take it. And I think Francis unhappy because someone from the Chesterfield dugout held onto the ball and wouldn't let him have it quickly. And I think the officials have gone over to talk to him. They've taken a throw. Oh, in fact, no, the referee is waiting for a minute. What's he decided? He's told Francis to take the throw-in up here. Okay. Not quite sure why, but okay. So he's gained another 10 yards. In comes a throw for Richards, who's going to try and get past the defender. But to be fair to Naylor, did well there, the defender. Completely muscled him out, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
I think that's what you call experience on the field against a very youngster, isn't it? I mean, he's done well. He's done a fantastic effort there running in Richards, but yeah, I mean, the Chesterfield player there has just used his pure experience of body getting in the way, but good lessons learned.
Shackelford, it's flicked forwards, and Kramer, Grigg still has it. Grigg tries to put it down the channel, but it wasn't the right ball for Naylor really, and Kramer will just pick that up easily and play it back to Whitworth in the extra goal. Whitworth along the ground. Macmillan up to Niskanen. Niskanen sends it back to Sweeney. I wouldn't do too much of that with the likes of Will Grigg hanging around up on the edge of the penalty area, but they've kept hold of possession, Exeter. And now it's Francis. Francis looks for the run of Ali. Ali was onside, and the ball drops for him, and Thompson is having to double back as Ali comes into the box. He's come back. Ali twists, turns left, right, drops it back for Aitchison. Aitchison shoots, takes a deflection, but in the end Thompson gets his body behind the ball.
It's great vision by Francis there. He's picked out Ali, and Ali's really timed his run there, double backed on his defender to make sure that he's onside, learning from his mistakes from earlier. Done a fantastic run towards the goal and the keeper, but then it's that final product. He wants to take on players. He didn't want to shoot. He looks up. There's a few players running into the box, but no real urgency to get to the ball, expecting a shot, and then a very good chance that could have been has turned out to be a bit of a nothing chance. And we keep saying it, it's just those final products in and around the area. Someone needs to take that confidence or responsibility to take that shot and just give it a go, because at the moment McGuinness has had some shots and Aitchison, but actually other than that we're not seeing anyone wanting to take a shot.
Well, there's a foul, McGuinness foul on Williams. I think Williams was making a bit of a meal of that, to be honest. Did look like a lot of contact to me. He went down, I mean he got the foul, but then a minute or so of I don't quite know what, and he's finally got up and we're back underway. And is Whitworth. Not such a good clearance that time. It's come off the outside of his boot. It's gone out for a throw to Chesterfield midway inside the Exeter half. We've got 6 and a bit minutes remaining of normal time, although there will be quite a bit of stoppage time because we had a couple of reasonably length stoppages as a result of injuries in this first half. Shackelford sends in his throw. Here's Dobra, but Dobra ran out of space as he tried to go down the channel, and it's gone out for a throw. Francis takes back to Kramer. Kramer lifts it over to the other side of the park, and it came off. Well, Niskanen tried. Berry did well actually to beat Niskanen away from it, and now Berry has won it, and now Berry is putting McMillan under pressure on that far side. He's brought the ball back. Dobra to Grimes. Grimes along the ground. He was looking to try and make the pass into Coldclough, but it was read well by Exeter, and they got the ball back on the edge of the penalty area. Kramer to Francis, and Exeter will move forward on the left this time. Francis takes a moment, looks for who's making the run. It's one up over the top, bit strong for Aitchison. Thompson has to come and will collect just inside his penalty area, and he bowls it out quickly to Williams. Williams along the ground. There's a turn. Woods is in there so quickly. Exeter have got it back. Francis to Woods. Woods back inside to Francis. Oh, it's got a bit tight. Francis has gone down. He's lost possession in the end, and now this is dangerous because Coldclough has a bit of room on the right. Coldclough, he's got Woods and Kramer on him. He's still trying to find the space to get the cross in. He does so, but no harm for Sweeney, who just brings the ball down. And now Exeter City will move it out quickly as Niskanen makes a run on the right, and he's knocked it inside. He's done well. He's found Aitchison. Aitchison holds off his defender. He's found Ali on the left-hand side. Ali, we're coming towards the corner of the penalty area. Ali going up against Shackelford, got inside, knocks it into the middle. Oh, he flashed it across the face of goal. If McGuinness had only just got a tiny bit of his body forward, he would have had enough to deflect it in, but the ball has gone out for a throw on the far side.
It's the first bit of play where everything's kind of worked really well all the way up to the ends, and we were saying about earlier about that quality, about that was complete quality by Ali. There's a little quick step over, delivers the ball, hasn't taken too many touches, but on that occasion McGuinness has gone on the front post, which we've wanted to do all game, and the ball's gone to the back post. But you know, arguably that's the negative side of just playing that one up top and not allowing that second person to be there ready to pick up these crosses.
Well, Exeter have possession in their own half. It's Francis, loads of space as he brings it up towards the halfway line. He's got Ali to his left, he's got Woods in the middle, but he decides to pull it back into Kramer. Kramer will run it in the middle and will take one of the Chesterfield midfielders with him, but in the end he pushes it out wide, and now it's for Sweeney. Sweeney will run towards the centre circle and look for a diagonal ball over to Ali. Fell a bit short though. Shackelford knocks it down. They tried to break through there, Chesterfield, but it's cheaply given away again, and Exeter have it again. Now here's Ali on this left-hand side going up against Shackelford. Ali with a step over, looks his left side, gets a good cross in that time. Double punch away from Thompson. Exeter are queuing up in the box, and Dobra in the end does enough to get it back, and Horton has it on the edge of the box, and now it's pushed away by Oldacre. And Exeter putting them under pressure, but they concede the throw. There's a throw to Chesterfield over on the far side.
And the numbers are getting in the box of Exeter, aren't they? And it's getting closer and closer and closer, but we keep saying the same thing, but we're not seeing that urgency or that readiness where the ball is. We don't kind of, at the moment, Exeter seems disjointed between the ball coming into the box and what we're going to do with it in the box, whether the run is front post, back post, to my feet, whatever it is. There just doesn't seem to be that connective play between the outside like wingers to the strikers or high midfielders.
Whitworth will decide to play it long. It's a huge kick. No, it's straight down the middle into the hands of Thompson on the other end. I think the hope was it would go out wide to Niskanen, but it actually went straight down the middle, and the keeper picked it up. And likewise an equally misplaced kick from Williams, and that's an Exeter City throw inside their own half. And that's a foul throw by Ed Francis, but it's not going to get penalised. Ball was well beyond his head. His hands, if you know what I mean. But when he let go of it. Right, so here's Kramer. And Sweeney. Exeter again, taking their time. Back inside to Kramer again. Kramer this time to Francis. Francis looking for Richards. Richards battles for it. He's got two men round him. Did incredibly well to keep hold of the ball actually in that situation. Now Ali's got in there as well. Ali though has just lost it to Shackelford. But Shackelford, it's kept in play. It didn't go out. It's right in front of us. He's given a free kick, is he? Okay.
Yeah. You're right though. Like, I'm surprised that it's been a free kick in that way, to be honest, because I thought there was more of a free kick on Richards than us, because they're all over him there, and he's turned back and made a defensive tackle and then been given free kick for it.
Well, that's cheaply put out of play by Chesterfield. Exeter City will get a throw. Inside the Chesterfield half, Francis comes up to take it. We're in the last minute of normal time in this first half. And Francis will drop it back to Whitworth. To Kramer to Francis. Francis again just holding it up, taking their time, Exeter. And they'll look to Sweeney. Sweeney back into Kramer. The Chesterfield players are having to run left and right, working out which side they're going to go for. Here's Woods. Woods then sends it to Ali out on the left. Ali will go up against Shackelford. He'll knock it into Richards. That's a neat turn. Richards has got two players round him. He's not got a lot of support, so he's done well to win a throw off that. And Ali, he's left it for Francis to take the throw, which is level with the edge of the penalty area. Instead of throwing it in, he's decided to drop it back to Kramer. Along the ground into Richards. All a bit tight, that. Asking a bit much, Exeter, I think. But Richards has done well to fight and win the ball back. And Exeter have got it again. Woods. Sweeney. Along the ground. Aitchison gets in. Good, but to be fair, that was good defending from Grimes. He was off balance on the floor, but he did enough to stop Exeter from moving it forward. But Grecians have got it again. Aitchison down by the side. He's got Grimes with him. He's got two men round him. And he does well by kicking it against one of the defenders and getting a throw.
Yeah, this build-up play, it's starting from Kramer the last couple of times, but he's trying to look for that midfield to bounce it off and bounce it around and then get out wide, which is causing a bit more chaos in Chesterfield rather than the classic get the ball from the back, put it in the line and then go forward. But it's just that little bit of quality that we're missing still from here and there, and it's not specific players, it's just everyone's quality just needs to up by about 10%, and then would see some real intricate play from Exeter. Francis along the ground. This is neat. Oh, it's a ball in. If Ali can get there before it comes across the byline, he can. They get a corner. Yeah, great vision.
Good effort.
Again. Great vision from Francis there. He's just seen the ball. He's slotted it right behind the Chesterfield back line, and they're doing all the right things. It's just seeing where it's happening, what's happening. I feel like the first 10 minutes we saw speed, quality, a bit of attitude towards it as well, whereas the last 20 minutes we've just seen a little bit step back, third gear, some would say.
Woods, right-footed, far post in swinger, Kramer, free header, and Exeter City are in front. Kramer with an easy header off Woods. He wasn't really marked properly. Exeter City 1, Chesterfield 0.
Yeah, we said it in the thing, but Woods has just picked out Kramer there really well. I mean, Kramer's absolutely free in the box there. I don't understand how Chesterfield have missed someone that is so tall on the field and just left him completely open with the record he's got with scoring headers in the box. But yeah, fantastic delivery and a really calm and collected finish by Kramer.
I think the thing is that really changes the game now, because we talked about how important the first goal is, but the thing is Chesterfield have not gambled. They've just not gambled in this game at all. So it'll be interesting to see now whether they do actually make that effort to just push it forward a bit more now. But that's the perfect time to score for Exeter, just before half-time.
I was going to say, if Exeter was going into this half at 0-0, it would have been a really difficult conversation to have, whereas now that it's a conversation going, okay, you've got away with it, but you're ahead, so now let's build from that.
Chesterfield now on this right-hand side. Cole Clough puts it down the channel and draws it back. I mean, without any disrespect to Chesterfield, I don't think they're half of what Barnet were when they were here so far.
Not at the moment. I think
there's got to be more from them. You feel there's got to be more.
Yeah, they're getting away with things. I think that defensively, I think they're actually doing really well. They're not building enough once they've won the ball back.
Sweeney, a bit risky some of this by Exeter at the back. And Woods along the ground. I think what will be worrying Chesterfield is they've had no chances in the first half. That's the thing that's going to worry them a bit.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think even with we said they've had a few attacks and actually they looked quite dangerous on them, but they've just not had that final product. But the actual amount of times they've had the ball, or the amount of times they've been able to get the ball up into their top third has been limited. And I think we talk about quality, but how many times have we seen this ball being kicked out towards the dugout, unopposed. So, there's unchallenged mistakes happening a lot across the back line of Chesterfield.
Sweeney then for Exeter. We've had 4 minutes. It's like he's put his foot on the ball waiting for the referee to blow the whistle. It does feel a bit like that. Yeah, I think Exeter just knocking it around now, saying, come on, ref. Yeah, there it is. So, half-time, Exeter City 1, Chesterfield 0. I have to say, the Grecians definitely deserve it. There's no doubt about that. They've had a lot more possession, a lot more chances. Chesterfield, in terms of actual efforts on goal, 0. So, a lot of good from Exeter City's point of view. But, as you say, there are weaknesses there too that also need to be looked at. But, as you said a moment ago, a very different conversation from Gary Caldwell at half-time, I think.
Yeah, completely. I don't think Chesterfield are playing bad. I just don't think they're doing enough with the ball. They're keeping the ball. They're keeping Exeter at bay, but they're not doing anything once they receive it. Whereas Exeter's the complete opposite. If I'm Exeter going into the change room now, I'm thinking, why are we only 1-0 up? We've had how many chances on the target? How many chances have we had in the box? And to be 1-0 up, Chesterfield got to be looking at that going, we're still in the game here. We can get back in this. So yeah, I guess the next 10 minutes of the first half is going to really prove what team wants it more.
I think, and I know it sounds like I'm stating the obvious, but I think you do tend to sense that the way this game has gone so far is that if Exeter were to get a second goal, that would probably be it, I think, because unless of course there's a massive change to the way Chesterfield start doing things and start actually attacking that Exeter goal. But I would have thought that very much they're going to have to come the second half, because they're trailing now. It's the cup. Chesterfield are clearly going to have to gamble. So as we go in at half time, then Exeter scoring from a corner just before half time through Tristan Kramer. It's Exeter 1, Chesterfield 0.
What do you love about Devon in the autumn?
Changing the colours, the bracken changing colour, the trees all changing colours, the brown's going.
The hazelnut tree in my garden is producing a bumper crop, and the squirrels are burying them all over my garden.
I love the cold evenings, being able to snuggle up, having a hot water bottle.
I go home, I have a nice shower, put my dressing gown on, put the fire on and just chill.
Loving Devon in the autumn.
Jumpers. I love jumpers.
This is BBC Radio Devon.
BBC Radio Devon.
Sport.
With James Vickery.
BBC Radio Devon, we're at half-time in our 3 o'clock games. Let's go around the grounds, find out a bit more detail on all of the scorelines then. Let's start in the Championship at Ashton Gate. Plymouth Argyle away against Bristol City. Half-time report from Michael McCann.
Plymouth Argyle fighting hard on the road and desperate to show a reaction to that 6-1 loss against Norwich on Tuesday. Plenty of pressure from the home side, with Naki Wells, Anis Mehmeti and Jason Knight all having good chances. Cameron Pring's balls in from the left flank, causing a lot of problems. Argyle being pulled apart, particularly in the wide areas. Very little for Argyle to shout about going forward. Bristol City keeper Max O'Leary has not really had a lot to do, but the positive has been plenty of desperate defence and bodies on the line, which means that Argyle have bucked their recent trend of conceding early on the road and playing catch-up. Now they'll hope that this could be the day where they get that first away win since April, or indeed at least get something from Ashton Gate to go with the 2 points away so far this season. At the break here, it's Bristol City 0, Plymouth Argyle 0.
Yeah, maybe that first half can be a bit of a springboard for Argyle to push on and get that elusive first away win of the season. Right, let's go to the FA Cup next. Exeter City at home against League 2 side Chesterfield. Of course, a place in round 3 and a possible Premier League tie at stake in round 3, and City ahead at the break, John Ayres.
Yes, Exeter City 1, Chesterfield 0. The game has been very, very one-sided. Exeter City 9 chances to Chesterfield's none. So, the Grecians have got a lot to be proud of, but the goal came just before half-time from a corner. Ryan Woods sending it in. Tristan Kramer felt like he had time, space and was unmarked, just headed it straight into the goal. No real problem. Exeter 1-0 up. But you tend to feel that if they hadn't have scored at that point, there'd be a very different feel to this game. Yes, Exeter City have been strongly on top, but if they'd have gone in 0-0 second half, maybe the frustration would start to set in. Chesterfield have got Will Grigg up front, a former £4 million striker who's obviously formidable, but he hasn't really had anything in this game so far. You feel it's got to be a second half because Chesterfield have got to start gambling. But at the moment, this is certainly Exeter's to lose because they're strongly on top. They're 1-0 up. Half-time, Exeter 1, Chesterfield 0.
Thank you, John. John Ayres at St James Park for BBC Radio Devon Sports. So as it stands, Exeter Exeter City with 1 foot in the third round of the FA Cup. Let's hope it's fairly plain sailing in the second half, shall we? Right, let's go to North London next, to Queen Elizabeth Stadium. Torquay United on their travels away against Enfield. Decent first half of football this, but Enfield have made Torquay sweat at times. Harry Salvage.
Yeah, definitely sweating. We're sweating a lot in the first minutes or so. Sam Dreher bringing down Sam Youngs in the penalty area. A tug on the back of his shirt. Referee correctly giving that one as a penalty, and Sam Youngs got himself up and took the penalty to send it straight down the middle as James Hammond jumped down to his right-hand side to give Enfield a lead within the first minute. But we saw it at Plainmoor. Torquay United going behind in the first few stages of the game against Enfield and coming back and taking lead, and that's exactly what they've done. Omar Musa has been such a nuisance for the Enfield player, especially down that left-hand side, cutting onto his right foot, and he managed to do that with a cross into the middle of the penalty area. And at times with crosses, especially at these sorts of grounds, you just need one touch and it goes in, and it was Jordan Thomas who got that touch. I don't think he knew anything about it, because I think him and the ball entered the back of the net at the exact same time, but Torquay United equalised, and that's what the Yellow Army were wanting. And then within the space of a few minutes later, I think about 3 minutes later, Torquay United then made it 2-1. Will Jenkins-Davis, who's had a superb game against Western-super-Mare, is also running the show here. Got some space into the penalty area on his right foot, curling it into the bottom corner of Reece Forster's goal. At the break, Torquay United lead this one by 2-1, but they have to be careful because they have slipped up in these games in the past. Half-time here, Enfield Town 1, Torquay United 2.
Wise words. Harry Salvage with us on BBC Radio Devon Sport. North London today for Torquay United on their travels. OK, let's have a look and see what's happening around the country then. In football's Premier League, it's Brentford 3, Leicester City 1 at half-time. Crystal Palace against Newcastle United is goalless, as is Nottingham Forest against Ipswich Town. Elsewhere, AFC Bournemouth 3-1 up away against Wolves at Molineux. The late game tonight, West Ham United against Arsenal at 5:30. In the Championship, number of games already played, so these are full-time scores. Middlesbrough 3, Hull City 1, Oxford 1, Millwall 1, Watford against Queen's Park Rangers, no goals there, and Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds United 0. Half-time situation, not so bad for Plymouth Argyle, 0-0 away against Bristol City at the break. Coventry City 1, Cardiff City 1 at half-time, Norwich City 2, Luton Town 1, Preston North End 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, Stoke City 0, Burnley 0, and Swansea City 1, Portsmouth 2 at the interval. The FA Cup scores from the second round. Wycombe are through to round 3. They've beaten Wealdstone away 2-0. Accrington 1, Swindon Town 1. Barnsley against Bristol Rovers is goalless at Oakwell. Cambridge United against Wigan is goalless at the Abbey Stadium. Crawley 2, Lincoln City 2. Exeter City 1-0 up at home against Chesterfield. Tristan Kramer with a header just before half-time, putting City ahead there at SJP. No goals between Leyton Orient and Oldham, and Morecambe and Bradford. It's Peterborough 1, Notts County 2. Salford City 2, Cheltenham Town 0. Stevenage against Mansfield, no goals there. Stockport 2, Brackley Town 0, Walsall 0, Charlton 2, and the late game tonight at 7:15 is AFC Wimbledon against Dagenham and Redbridge. League 2 scores to tell you about today. Just 2 games in League 2, they've already been played. Carlisle 1, Crewe 1, and Fleetwood 0, Colchester United 0. National League South score lines this afternoon. Bath City 1, Boreham Wood 1, Chelmsford 1, Slough Town 1. Chesham against Eastbourne Borough is goalless. Dorking against Truro is goalless. Enfield 1, Torquay 2, as we know. Farnborough 0, Chippenham 0, Hornchurch 0, Hampton and Richmond Borough 1, Maidstone 1, St Albans City 0. And it's goalless between Salisbury and Hemel Hempstead Town, and Weymouth and Tonbridge Angels. Worthing at 2-0 up against Western-super-Mare. Also today with our non-league football, we're keeping an eye on what's going on in mid-Devon. Columpton Rangers against Oakhampton Argyle in the South West Peninsula League Premier Division East. Let's get a half-time report on this one from Peter Smith.
Half-time at Dobster Park. It's Columpton Rangers 0, Oakhampton Argyle 1. Despite having most of the early pressure, Columpton fell behind on 15 minutes. A defensive elapse, allowing Luke Mortimer to head into an empty net to put Oakhampton 1 up. Since then, the Oakhampton side have stepped up their game. Dan Coit have been very lively up front, a real handful. He and Mortimer forcing saves out of Cully keeper Will Howard. At the other end, Cully's George Russell's free kick was very well saved by Arthur in the Argyle goal. Evenly matched so far. Former Exeter player Craig Woodman went off injured for Cully. There have been 2 bookings for Oakhampton. Mortimer's harshly penalised foul, and Dom Hartnell's tackle was very late and deserved a yellow. Could go either way, this one. Whoever does win will go top of the South West Peninsula League Premier East. Columpton Rangers 0, Oakhampton Argyle 1.
Thank you, Peter. And it sounds like there's an intercity train chugging away in the background there too.
If you know your supermarket sweep,
are you ready to go shopping?
From your Sussian sweep, you'll love the Golden Hour.
These broken wings. All that she wants is another baby.
The Golden Hour.
Weekdays at 1.
BBC Radio Devon.
Just coming up to 4 o'clock, this is James Vickery, BBC Radio Devon Sport. Still to come later, the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says his side need to focus on themselves and keep winning in the hope that Liverpool will stumble in the Premier League this season. They're 8 points behind their title rivals. Arsenal take on West Ham in a London derby at 5:30. In cricket, England's Harry Brook said he had a lot of luck, but was glad to cash in on the opportunities. After 171 on day 3 of the first test in New Zealand, he was dropped 5 times in all during the innings. New Zealand closed 155 for 6, leading England by just 4 runs. In Formula 1, Lando Norris gave up victory in the Qatar Grand Prix sprint race to teammate Oscar Piastri as they crossed the line ahead of Mercedes' George Russell. The gesture came as payback for something that went on at Sao Paulo earlier on in the season. And at the UK Snooker Championships in York, the world number 1 Judd Trump is in semi-final action against Kyron Wilson. The latest there, Trump has recovered from 2 frames down to lead by 3 frames to 2. Right, BBC Radio Devon, big second halves of football on the way for Argyle, City and United. And a reminder at 5:45 tonight, live Rugby Union Premiership action for you. The Exeter Chiefs, bottom of the table, go to table toppers Bath. Top versus bottom, Bath versus Exeter, live on BBC Radio Devon, all frequencies, BBC Sounds and the BBC Sport website from 5:45. Back, though, to our football. Torquay at Enfield. You need to be on the BBC Sport website for this one. Let's take you back to North London now with Tom Diamond and Harry Salvage. If you're listening across the county on DAB Digital Radio and in Plymouth and West Devon on 95.7 FM, it's Plymouth Argyle at Bristol City with former Argyle striker Martin Gritton and your match commentator Michael McCann. And elsewhere across Devon on 103.4 FM, in Exeter on 95.8, Freeview Channel 712, as well as BBC Sounds and the BBC Sport website. It's back to St James Park for Exeter City at home this afternoon against League 2 side Chesterfield. City with 1 foot in round 3, but they've got to get over the line, that final line. John Ayres clearly not happy about something. We can hear him shouting about in the background there. Let's go back to your commentary team. Bo Jackson and John Ayres for this one. I'm not sure they're hearing us, but John is saying that something isn't quite right in the background. Right, we will go back to them in a moment or two, but if you are just tuning in, Exeter City lead Chesterfield by 1-0. Tristan Kramer with a header just before half-time, giving Exeter the lead in that game then this afternoon. There's about 4 minutes of additional time in that game, so maybe a couple of minutes away from the second half getting underway. So you're missing nothing here on BBC Radio Devon Sport and BBC Sounds. Yeah, John Ayres having a bit of a chat with someone in the press area there. So yeah, interesting afternoon for City. They've huffed and puffed in that first half. They've had a number of opportunities as well. They've had a number of good opportunities in that game, a number of opportunities on goal, but it is just the 1 goal that Exeter find themselves leading by. I won't ask what John Ayres was talking about in the background that he was clearly not too happy about, but we can now take you back to John Ayres and Bo Jackson for the second half of Exeter City against Chesterfield.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for the sides to come out for the second period, but yeah, pretty one-sided first half this game. You sense Chesterfield coming out now. You sense that Chesterfield are forced. They've got to gamble. They didn't gamble at all in the first half. Exeter had a lot of the ball. The thing we're really trying to get a head round is how on earth, I mean, the stats today, they say that it was 55% possession for Chesterfield, 44 Exeter. Absolutely no idea how they worked that out. But because Exeter had 9 chances and Chesterfield did not have a shot on goal. Yes, they moved the ball in and around and got near the penalty area a couple of times, but Whitworth hasn't actually had to do anything yet. So it's been pretty pretty much one-sided in this game, and so perhaps that stat of possession, if it's actually correct, doesn't really give you a true indication of how it's gone in this game so far. But we're getting close and ready to start the second half here at St James Park. Both sides are now back on the pitch, and it will be Exeter City kicking towards their favoured big bank in the second half, and they'll be kicking off in the second period. So that will be getting underway in just a moment. The referee just coming over and getting ready for the second period. And McGuinness stands in the centre circle ready to start the second half. Referee looking around, ready to indicate the start. The referee, Jacob Miles, looks at his watch, checks his officials as we get ready for the second period in this game. And McGuinness just waiting for the signal. Referee blows his whistle and we're away for the second half. And a long kick back to Whitworth, of course, something you could never do before the rule change, when a ball always had to go forward at kick-off. Never really understood why that rule existed. Didn't see the point of it.
I know, it's strange, isn't it? Didn't do anything.
And so they've obviously got rid of it now. So yeah, Whitworth. Oh, a bit poor and sloppy from Exeter right at the start of the first half. Knocking around in the back, and Whitworth kicked it out towards Francis, and it's trickled out harmlessly for a throw near the corner flag. So Exeter immediately under a bit of unnecessary pressure.
We knew there was going to be some sort of change from Chesterfield from the off, though, didn't we? And that pressure was just really built up from half time, and just wanted to come out and give it a lot of energy.
Well, they've got nothing to lose now, Chesterfield. So here they are on the edge of the box, and they're going to get a free kick. Woods has dragged their player down. I think it's Cole Clough. He's dragged him to the floor. And so it's a yellow card for Ryan Woods, yet another one. Gosh, he's added them up, isn't he? So
it's unneeded as well. Like Chesterfield, fair play to Chesterfield there. They've done well. They've created something from nothing, as you said, but Exeter have invited that pressure, and as you just said, they've got nothing to lose. So on a start of the game, a reset of the play, they put it right back to our goalkeeper to allow that press, but then have kept it in that half where just inviting those extra pressure. There's unneeded stress for the first minute of the first half.
This is interesting. See, Grimes is trying to block Whitworth's view because of the change in the offside rule as well. He can do that now. Back in the day you couldn't do that because you're clearly offside, but if a goal goes in, but now he can do that. So yeah, and the referee's just had words because he literally wanted to stand in front of him, but the ref said no. And now he's actually standing on the goal line, which extraordinary for a free kick. He's moved away now.
It's just a tactic, to set up the line, isn't it? To set up the defensive wall. Just stand in the goalkeeper's way, and then I'll walk back once you think you're done. Mind games.
So here we go then with a free kick for Chesterfield. And the shot is taken, and it's straight away. Well, there's good effort from Oldacre, to be fair. That's their first chance on goal. But it's come to nothing. And Exeter's Jake Richards has just been absolutely clattered by Oldacre, and that's going to be a booking, I'd have thought. There's no way he can't be.
That's got to be a booking. It's just that was pure frustration, and it's kind of as if he's taken out on the youngest player on the field, and Exeter's reaction there was very much the older big brother coming up and looking after him there, I think.
Well, like Woods, I mean, that's his seventh booking of the season, so obviously one who's also got a bit of a reputation for picking up yellow cards. But Exeter City now have it. So a bit of a sloppy, slow start to the second half for Exeter, but they're still leading by a goal to nil, and they'll chase it on that right side. Grimes has got McGuinness on his tail, and Grimes under pressure has just kicked it out into touch. That'll be throw to Exeter, down near roughly level with the edge of the penalty area, up at the big bank end. Sweeney drops it in. Where's the ball going to fall? It's booted away, only as far as Kramer though. Kramer gets it down on his chest. Oh, a bit messy. Bit lucky that Exeter again. A bit Not 100% at the moment since they've come out second half, but they've got away with it. And now it's with Kramer. Kramer passes it back to Whitworth. Whitworth, I think he's had enough of seeing the ball in around his end. He's just thumped it up the other end of the pitch. Now Aitchison, this is a good run, and he's found Niskanen offside. The idea was right. Aitchison slipped the ball through. Niskanen making the run, but just that yard offside.
Yeah, it's positive though, isn't it? Like as you say, it's clearing the lines, getting the ball into their half, and then it's a game of percentages. You know, their probability of more likely getting stuff in their zone rather than having it in our defensive half and having to work hard for it.
Torquay United are now 3-1 up against Enfield in National League South, and so things going the way of the goals now after that poor start in their match. And it's Horton for Chesterfield. He'll knock it back to Thompson, and Thompson being put under pressure, clears, just kept in play by Oldacre, and now it's with Dobra into the middle, and that's Oliver Banks. So there was a substitution at half time, which I didn't notice, so I'll work that one out in a minute. But it's Kramer to Francis rather, and another shocking challenge on Richards, that time by the substitute Banks. That was absolutely awful.
That's 2 on him in exactly the same spot on the field as well. Like, are they aiming for him now?
he's got away with that. Actually, the referee's not booked him. I am surprised. I have to say, I am surprised that escaped a booking. So Exeter City with possession. Ball is played down that left-hand channel, chased by Ali into the corner flag. Ali, he's got Shackelford on him. Ali will win a throw, I think. And Banks came on for Naylor at half-time. So that was the substitution that we had. Now Chesterfield, clear upfield. Griggs, that's a good pass from him out towards his left-hand side. And this is a good overlap. This is dangerous. In it comes. And it's a good sliding in challenge from Kramer to put it out. I think it ran out for a throw in the end. It was right by the corner flag. It's a throw down in front of us, but that was better from Chesterfield. As the ball is played long back. Here's Grimes. Grimes knocks it into the middle, in towards Williams. Banks, the substitute. Banks out wide again. Just pulls it back. And Banks sends it across to Grimes. Grimes up over the top. The run will be made, but Sweeney will get the header to keep Berry away from the ball. And it's bowled out straight away by Whitworth, and now it's Macmillan for Exeter coming up towards the halfway line. That's a neat pass. He's found Niskanen. Niskanen darting towards goal. Niskanen, side of the penalty area, tries to get his crossover. The defender gets in the way. I tell you, that's a bit of a let-off for Chesterfield. The ball fell kindly for Thompson, and he grabbed it for a moment there. Niskanen charging on goal. The defence did well to stop it, but some serious pressure.
It's a really tidy ball, and Niskanen has done really well in kind of keeping it and doing something, but it's just that final bit again, looking up, no one's around him, but not willing to take that shot, and then taking his direction of the ball closer to the corner flag rather than the goal. And it's just, to score you've got to get close to the goal, and he just didn't then.
Niskanen with a lot of room, corner of the penalty area, over comes across. Will they score, Exeter? That was a great opportunity for Richards. The goalkeeper's made the save. It's clattered away. It's not away properly yet though. Exeter still have it in and around the edge of the box. No, Chesterfield have got it away, but another great opportunity there for the Grecians to make it 2. And I think Richards will be cursing himself for not scoring there. Bit of a lazy, cynical challenge there on Cole Clough by Ed Francis, and that's a booking. Arguably took one for the team. In fact, we saw one. I'll tell you what that reminded me of. A tackle that Caleb Watts made in that Shrewsbury game, which he got sent off for, but to be fair, the circumstances were very different. He was much more last man back in that occasion, if you saw what I mean, but a similar sort of thing. So that's his 4th booking of the season.
Again, Niskanen there, completely different player, because he's got no time on the ball. His instincts in football was a fantastic ball straight into the box, get it into the area, and he just works so much better from it. And arguably Exeter are going to be itching themselves there of not getting that ball in the net, back of the net again.
Bristol City have taken the lead at Ashton Gate against Plymouth Argyle. And it's 1-0 there. Chesterfield just trying to move the ball down this left-hand side. They're certainly brighter this second half, Chesterfield. They had to change it a bit. Exeter City have just got to be careful not to lose concentration. But Chesterfield now have it back in their own half. Tyrone Williams over on that far side. It's bowled forward. They're making the run. They've still got the ball. It's Will Grigg. He's just touched it off there in the middle of the Exeter half. A twist and a turn from Coldclough. Just drops the ball back. Chesterfield move it out towards the left-hand side. Here's Horton. Horton back in towards Oldacre. It's out towards the right side this time for Banks, the substitute. To Shackelford. Griggs was offside, surely. Flag stays down amazingly. Exeter City have won it. Kramer goes down. I've got to be honest, it looked feigned. That's why the Chesterfield fans are moaning. But I thought Griggs was a good yard or so offside to start with.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're right in line with that ball, and I thought he was offside as well. And then a little knock on Kramer's like Achilles used to say, and as he's gone down, he's just made sure that he's reached very naturally for the ball, so the referee has to make a decision. And luckily for Exeter, the decision's gone the right way for them. But again, why are we risking those things? Why are we not keeping that ball, passing it around and moving Chesterfield around like we were in the first half?
10 minutes gone in the second half. Oh, this is a lovely run from Aitchison. Aitchison, was he fouled right on the edge of the box that? Oh, they've got a free kick, Exeter, but there wasn't much in that. I tell you, there wasn't much in that. Right on the corner of the penalty area. The referee has played safe and felt, he's not going to give a penalty. He's not running towards goal, but that was right on the line. He's given a free kick to Exeter.
You can see Aitchison there with like frustration, with his lifting his hands up going, come on, all of that, and the referee's then giving it, which is the first time in this game he's really started to give fouls for such little things. The first half he was allowing a lot of play, and to be honest, probably too much play with a lot of the tackles that were going in. But now his level of refereeing has gone up, I guess, in terms of what he will allow and not allow. And you can see now Exeter just moving Chesterfield around in the box, but they're all marking Kramer this time.
I bet they are. Certainly after that corner, they're not going to be happy about this. In it comes. It's flicked in. It's gone across the face of goal, and it's going to be a corner. It's come off a defender, and that's Exeter's fourth corner of the afternoon.
And it's going to be interesting now to see what they do about it. They're going to try and play it front post again and knock it in, hoping for a kind of scramble, or are they really going to look out for a Kramer again? But very different setup to what it was in the first half. You've got Chesterfield really touch-tight marking Kramer, especially to the extent of arguably a little bit too much touch-tight.
They're trying to almost push Kramer out of the penalty area the way they're defending this one. So Exeter City then with a corner kick. It comes in close near side. The ball is spun. Well, Exeter's won it amazingly. Here's Ali, gets the ball across his side netting. Goalkeeper has to make a full stretch dive. Oh, it made the net bulge. Wrong side though, sadly, for the Grecians.
Yeah, again, good effort. The less time that Exeter City have on the wings, the better decisions they're making, and just looking a little bit more threatening. But there's limited touches now by the midfield in comparison to what there was in the first half, so it just shows the kind of change in play at the moment, in very much getting the ball into the defensive and attacking areas of the field.
Woods has been penalised again. As he made the tackle, he had both hands in the air to say, I'm not touching him. He's got to be careful because he's on a yellow, and I know he's going to be thinking, I mean, I know he's really important to the team, but I'd be inclined to pull him off at the minute. I think it's a risk.
No, I agree. And Chesterfield know how much he can be wound up, shall we say.
Well, here they come again. It's now Bristol City 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. More pressure on Wayne Rooney than I was at the press conference on Thursday, and obviously he was being asked questions about whether he felt he was under pressure, and his reaction was, well, no more than any other manager at any other time, really, was kind of his response. But away from home, they are having an absolute nightmare. In comes the throw then, and goes out of play. It's going to be a free kick to Chesterfield. It's all getting a bit scrappy and a bit gnarly at the moment. I got a feeling we might see a red card or two in this game, the way it's going.
Or a lot more yellows to start with.
So, ball is played across the park. Grimes forward into Dobra. Banks to Grimes. Exeter City pushing them back into their own half. In the end, they managed to spread it, and now Williams will send the ball across towards the right-hand side. A lot more possession, obviously, from Chesterfield now, but as I said earlier, they've got to gamble. Here's Dobra. Dobra goes down with Kramer. Kramer wins it quite comfortably, though. Oh, he jinks past another player, keeps control of the ball and sends a fantastic ball through to Niskanen. One-on-one, the keeper doubling back. Niskanen is pushed in the box. That has to be a penalty. He was shoved down. That has to be a penalty. He's given a corner. That is ridiculous.
How on earth has the referee not seen that? I mean, I wouldn't usually take this, but wow. There's a fantastic ball. Kramer's picked the ball up. He's made a lovely little calm shuffle past one of their strikers. Clips the ball into Niskanen, and he's branched directly at goal, and the defender has two-handed pushed him in the shoulder and back, and he's gone down, and the referee has given a corner.
If this becomes critical, there's going to be a lot of complaints from Exeter City over that. His push down, arm out, push down on the floor, no penalty.
I'd like to see the replay of that one.
Anyway, corner kick. Ball comes in for Exeter. It's a higher one this time to the far side. It's knocked back into the middle. Kramer's there, knocks it forward, half-headed away by Chesterfield. They chase it out towards the side, and Chesterfield clatter it away. Exeter double back to pick up the ball near the halfway line. Woods. Francis sends it back to Whitworth. Ball played forwards. And Sweeney. It's not forward by McMillan, but Chesterfield get it, and they get a free kick.
Just sloppy, isn't it, at the moment? There's no momentum from City's or Chesterfield's game. It's just very bitty, very just very bitty is probably the best way to say it.
Chesterfield have it now over on the far right-hand side. Grigg is lurking in the middle. They draw it back. Banks takes a shot. No real problem, though. Straight at Whitworth.
Game of two halves at the moment. I mean, Chesterfield at the moment, they're not looking threatening, but they're still delivering a lot more threat than what Exeter have. Granted, Exeter had a fantastic opportunity then, but nothing delivered from it. But Chesterfield are pressing everything and really putting Exeter under the press, but Exeter aren't able to break that press effectively, so they're just kicking it forward, hoping for a running on situation, and that's not even happening.
Well, here's Woods then for Exeter, and he's pushed it right towards Aitchison on this right-hand side. Aitchison darting forward. He's got Niskanen with a bit of space on the right side. Niskanen with a low crossing quickly. Where will it land? Will it fall to Ali? What's he given? He said there's a tug or something's gone on in the penalty area.
He's given a free kick because of a push by McGuinness in the middle, effectively on the defender, but I mean, very, very, very soft in comparison to what has been or hasn't been given on this field so far.
I think you're right, what you said earlier. There does feel there's been a difference in refereeing. Yeah. He's now picking up on much more smaller incidents when he's let it gone in the first half.
And that's hard for a player, consistency-wise. You're thinking first half they understand, they know what to do, and then now it's a new referee, effectively.
I mean, what we've just seen there is Shackelford has tried to go around Ali, and he's penalised Ali for obstruction. Well. So Chesterfield have it on this left-hand side, and Dobra beaten off it. But you see now Dobra's got his arms all over Richards, and the referee's let it go. Here's Dobra, pushes it wide. They've got space, Chesterfield, as they get into the box. There's the low ball in, cleared away from Kramer.
I've got nothing wrong with referees being strict. You've got to be consistent, and for me that's not consistent in comparison to what's been given and what's not been given there.
The player pulled Richards down. He had his hands on him, pulled him down. Right.
As you said earlier.
Yeah. Right. So what can happen here? Aitchison battling hard with Berry. Chesterfield have kept hold of it though. Grimes. Certainly Chesterfield with their tails up at the moment. Dobra knocks it back, and Oldacre across the park from Williams, and Francis gets in there to intercept, goes out for a throw. 63 minutes gone, still Exeter 1, Chesterfield 0. Ball is played back, and Grimes knocks it forward to Banks, to Williams. Chesterfield to Banks. Not quite as tidy as Exeter are when they're playing it around at the back, Chesterfield. And Exeter were alert to that, and it's just forced them to send the ball back. Williams to Shackelford. Decent bit of play from him to Cole Clough, who's got a bit of space on that right side. They come towards the corner of the penalty area, Chesterfield here. They'll have a shot, flashed across the face of goal, but Whitworth knew it was going wide.
It's a warning though. It's, in my opinion, they're poor one-on-one defending there. And then Chesterfield just had the run of the play. Lucky enough to get a strike on, but it's got to be one of very few shots that we've seen this game that hasn't been obstructed by players, which shows how much space he's created in that little touch and little run forward with the ball, or lack of defending by Exeter there.
25 minutes to go of normal time, and Exeter still leading by a goal to nil. McGuinness just knocks the ball forward but couldn't really do anything with it. It's back with Thompson in the Chesterfield goal. Ball is played long forward. I would imagine that's going to be Whitworth's. It is, and he clears. Does the ball stay? It's gone above the stand. We don't know. Oh, no, it didn't go out of play. It was out of sight for us, but it stayed in the pitch. But in the end, Aitchison couldn't do anything with it when it landed kindly for him.
The game has changed in the sense that Chesterfield now, their shape in the first half was really narrow, really concise, making sure Exeter can get through, whereas now they're just allowing an extra space here, an extra space there, which has now made Exeter's game so much harder to break through and harder to break out.
There's just been a sliding tackle on Niskanen. The player has put the ball out with his slide and the throw has been given their way. Right, okay.
They want penalties, that's what they want.
Right, there's going to be another substitution. This time, coming off is Berry, and coming on is Liam Mandeville, the former Doncaster, Cambridge and Colchester player. Attacking midfielder. Bristol City 3, Plymouth Argyle 0. So ball back in, and Exeter tussling to win the ball. Oh, Niskanen he's off balance, couldn't quite hold on to it on the touchline. Throw in Chesterfield. Banks lays it back. Grimes to his goalkeeper Thompson. Over to Williams, whose first touch wasn't good, although it fell kindly and landed with Shackelford in the end. Exeter City win it back. Ali, nice bit of twisting and turning. He's played well today. Now Richards caught on the penalty area. He's turned and faced, tries to get the ball over, couldn't quite do so. Oh, pretty tough shoulder barge going in from their number 2, Shackelford. But anyway, game continues. It's going to be Pierce Sweeney for Exeter. He slots it for Ali on the left-hand side. Ali gets his cross in quickly, but no, he's miskicked it. And it's gone out for a goal kick.
For a moment it got deflected there, but you're right, it's a complete miskick into the big bank, effectively.
So here come Chesterfield again. Mandeville, the substitute, played it out to the right side. It's still inside the Chesterfield half though. They've sent the ball across the park over to Grimes on the left-hand side. It's knocked into the middle. Pierce Sweeney, easy header away. Knocked down from Macmillan, but they've lost it, Exeter. Macmillan gets in again. Chesterfield still have the ball. Bit of a battle going on in the midfield at the moment with Banks. Banks spreads it far out to that right-hand side. Chesterfield moving men up in numbers. Back in towards Banks. Banks to Oldacre, but it's won cheaply by Aitchison. Aitchison's going on the run. Aitchison trying to run past defenders. He's still got room. Is he going to slot it to Niskanen? Yes, he does. Niskanen with a cross in the box, and there's the second goal for Exeter City. And Josh McGuinness gets the second. It's Exeter City 0 to Exeter City 2, Chesterfield 0.
And that goal's purely come from Aitchison there. He's been hungry all game, chasing shadows and chasing every kind of opportunity. He's picked up the ball in the middle and just ran himself. He's looked around and waiting for his teammates to keep up with him, but he's just driven that ball from the halfway point all the way down to the edge of the box, laid it off to Nixon on the right hand side, and then a lovely simple cross into the middle where finally throughout this game we've seen an Exeter City player on the end of it, and it wasn't even a pretty finish. I think it hit the knee of McGuinness, but it went in the back of the net, and that's all that matters at the moment.
Yeah, very much all that matters for the Grecians. Josh McGuinness with his 5th goal of the season. It's Exeter City 2, Chesterfield 0, and you do now tend to feel that Exeter City have one foot in the 3rd round. And Doyle is coming on, Kamari Doyle, and it's Jake Richards coming off, who I think has battled hard in this game and has done well.
He's played fantastic today. You know, a young player coming through really shows the future for Exeter City, but he's what, 17? 17 years old, and he's just matched up with so many good players there. Richards, yes, 17, that's right. Yeah, and he's played a really good game there, and he should be proud of that.
So the Grecians then in a commanding position. I mean, Chesterfield are going to feel frustrated. They've had a lot of possession. They put Exeter City under pressure. But in the end, it was, as is often the case with goals, they cheaply gave it away with some poor passing in the middle. Aitchison fully capitalised, went on his run, got it through to Niskanen, quick square pass to McGuinness, 2-0. Now, another bit of cheap passing from Chesterfield. And again, Exeter City nearly found another opening, but they just about got away with it. Banks plays it back to Williams. Williams along the grounds. Woods wins it. And Kramer flicks the ball through to McMillan. McMillan finds Aitchison, who I think's had a great game today. Aitchison to Niskanen on the right, the defender makes his challenge, Horton, and Exeter City have a throw.
They've given the right side of the throw this time from a tackle.
Yeah. I still can't believe that last one. Penalty that wasn't given as well.
Yeah.
But right, another double substitution coming up from Chesterfield now. So coming off is Horton, and he is going to be replaced by. Just wait and see. So. And Shackelford is coming off as well, who I think's played quite well actually. I'm surprised to see that. So, and coming on, so Lewis Gordon is coming on, and also coming off number 3, and also coming on. Number 19, Lewis Gordon. So Liam Jessup is coming on, and he's wearing the number. Liam Jessup is wearing number 38. So double substitution from Chesterfield.
You're expecting, now 2-0 down, really nothing to lose, and you can see it already that Exeter have got 2 players back, and Chesterfield have matched those 2 players as well, and I feel like now it's going to be a very different game in terms of just getting the ball for them and really trying to challenge that back line for Exeter.
Well, Exeter are 18 minutes away from a place in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and it's going to be a free kick to the Grecians, and Kamari Doyle comes over. Surprised at this. I mean, I'd have thought they'd have gone for a ball placer, but Doyle sends his ball across. It's a bit strong, but Ali will chase it over on the far side. Ali keeps it in play, hauls it back to Francis, does well to do so. Back out to Ali. Ali turns and tries to beat the defender on the touchline. He's done so, he's beaten one, he's got the second, he's got the ball through. It's knocked into the middle by Exeter. It's flashed across the face of goal, but in the end they couldn't quite get it on target, and it's gone away for a goal kick.
Yeah, good energy again from Exeter, and Ali, as you say, really good tenacious play there, just trying to get the ball and run at his players, and did well with it, but the finish was just a little bit too high and wide to make it any threat.
Ball is knocked forwards, and so the ball is played into the middle, and Chesterfield have it. So it's going to be free kick. Your man of the match for this one, Bo?
There's a few contenders, I think. I think Aitchison's got to be up there with how hard he's worked. I think Ali's been really well, and Niskanen gets a mention. He wouldn't be my winner because of just kind of that final product, but he's got to have a mention with how much he's created this game. But to be fair, I think Aitchison for me has been better than rest of Exeter and better than what I've seen him play in other games. So yeah, for me it's going to be Aitchison.
Exeter clear their lines. Aitchison again. Jinking, twisting, turning, holding it up brilliantly, it has to be said. Oh, fantastic. Finds Woods. Woods knocks it to Niskanen on the right-hand side. And in the end, they give away a corner from a strange position, Chesterfield. Just trying to keep the ball away. Has he given a corner? He has given a corner. Yeah, I thought so. Because the referee again took his time to give it a signal. Because, the ball was up near the halfway line. But in trying to get the ball away from Niskanen, the defender scooped it. It went right down the line and out near the corner flag, and so Exeter City get another corner. You haven't mentioned Kramer. He's not put a foot wrong and scored.
You are extremely right, actually, as well.
I bet that's who the sponsors will go for. But we'll see. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm fancying Aitchison. Right. But it's going to be a corner kick.
Kramer's having a bit of a hustle and bustle in the box anyway.
Here comes the ball into the penalty area. Up they jump for it. Oh! An Exeter player has gone down. And I think calling for saying something's happened there. I can't see. Is that
Sweeney?
Sweeney. It is Sweeney. It's my eyesight, I'm afraid. But,
I'll help you out, John.
It's a problem getting old. Thought it was Sweeney, but I wasn't quite sure. When the lights come on, it all gets a bit more difficult. So the ball is played back, and it's Grimes for Chesterfield, back to Thompson. We're into the last 15 minutes of normal time. Exeter 2, Chesterfield 0 in this second round tie of the FA Cup. And the ball is pushed up the channel. And Woods, it's cheaply given away at the back. Kramer has to recover and does well to get it back to Whitworth, but very nearly then Exeter letting Chesterfield in cheaply. Ball bounces at the other end. And Williams watches it back to his goalkeeper, Thompson.
What's been odd is I thought that Chesterfield this half would have, started off strong and just kept going and going as the game goes on, thinking there's nothing to lose here. But what's actually happened is they started strong and Exeter has then just built on that confidence.
Here's Niskanen. What are they going to do here? Niskanen thinking about it. Knocked it on the inside. Doyle couldn't quite get there. The boots in to batter it away into touch on this near side. Macmillan takes it quickly. Throws in towards Sweeney. Sweeney looking to get it down the channel. It's blocked. It's scooped up in the air. Who's going to get on the end of this? Aitchison tussling and fighting for it. Finds Niskanen. Niskanen along the ground. Doyle cuts it back. It got caught up in legs and Chesterfield just about get it away. But Exeter City still have it back. Chesterfield on the back foot here. Here's Francis for Exeter. Francis out to Ali. Ali is going to run up against the defender, comes inside, looks to scoop it into the box. Exeter on the edge of the D. They just knock it back to Woods, who's got a bit more room. Woods looks for Niskanen over on this far side, but just slightly out of Niskanen's reach, and it's gone out for a throw.
Yeah, it's tidy play again, isn't it? But we're saying just Exeter getting hungrier and hungrier. The ball for the last 10 minutes has been more inside Chesterfield's half than what it has all game apart from the first 10 minutes. So it's been a real change in dynamics of the game. But even there, you're thinking Exeter's going to take a shot away, put a shot away, but with the players that are bringing onto the field, it's more about just keeping possession, waiting for the perfect opportunity to then get a good shot away rather than just losing possession on getting a half chance. Especially with being 2-0 up, they don't need to risk it. It's better for them to keep the ball rather than losing the ball and then being open to a counter-attack. With Chesterfield at the moment, looking on the field, they've got 3 players that are all standing right as high as they can without being offside.
Double change for Exeter. Vincent Harper comes on for Ilmari Niskanen, and Jay Bird comes on for Josh McGuinness. So just thinks Caldwell wanting to freshen it up a little bit. But at the moment, obviously Exeter City are in the driving seat, so they don't have to panic. They can just look to bring on some fresh legs and keep Chesterfield. The thing what Exeter have done well, actually, is although Chesterfield have, I felt, tried to build in the second half, the fact that there's still been a threat from Exeter going forward has meant that they can't gamble in quite the way they want to. And I think I'm sensing now by bringing on Jay Bird, changing it around a bit up front, it's again just for making Chesterfield, reminding them that they can't just suddenly throw everyone forward.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that McGuinness has done very well this half, but the last 20 minutes or so we've not actually mentioned his name other than the goal, because he's not he wasn't working as much as what a new sub would be working on now, just because of that energy levels, you know. And I think the interesting switch as well here would be Ali now playing on the other side, so now making this fullback do a lot more work, which he's been giving hell all game to the other side, hasn't he?
Indeed. That defender's probably thinking, oh great, this one's gone.
It's not someone you want as a return, is it?
No. So it's going to be, what's he giving here? Throw or a free? It's on the touchline. Not sure if he's giving a throw or he's giving a free kick to Chesterfield. It's our view is it's actually obscured, so the dugout's in the way. But ball is played back to Thompson in the Chesterfield goal. We're coming up to 10 minutes remaining. Exeter with a 2-goal cushion at the moment, and Chesterfield will bring it out from the back. Now in goes the challenge, and a tough old challenge from Bird, but he's been penalised.
Good first touch.
Yeah, let's send the player flying. And here comes Gordon, the substitute. He's just touched it inside. And Exeter tussling for the ball. They get the throw. Ali in no particular hurry to go and get the ball. It's probably going to be Macmillan who's going to take this throw in. Clock's ticking down for Chesterfield now. And Exeter City, with, as I say, with a 2-goal cushion at the moment. Sweeney getting ready to take the throw in. And what's going on here? It's a yellow card. Who's he giving that to?
The manager. He's just gone and sat down. He's sat down on his seat of shame.
Manager, is it? I'm not sure. It's hard to see. It's just he's waving a card, and I can't see who he's waving it at. But yeah. So yes, a yellow card for the dugout.
To be fair, watching him all game, he's been emotional, passionate.
We were talking to the Chesterfield press before the game, and of course, because Gary Caldwell had a terrible time at Chesterfield, terrible win record. I think he only won 3 matches out of however many it was, 19, 20 odd. And Gary Caldwell, I think, has said that it was a really tough time for him. He's still got a lot of respect for the club, and so he doesn't want to talk about it in terms of wanting to do one over Chesterfield, because he doesn't. He views them as a good club. Early in his learning managerial career, and he takes it as experience and wishes them all the best. So, but I know the Chesterfield fans and their media are all gritting their teeth, wanting to badly get one over Gary Caldwell.
I suppose it's different in the perspective on things, isn't it? You know, the same information but different perspectives on what a storyline is, and you know that sounds very biased towards Gary, but it's not. It's just sense that Gary had more information at the time and decides to do what he wanted to do, and as you say, looks at it as a journey rather than a moment, whereas Chesterfield have deemed it as a moment.
Yeah. Mind you, I mean, all fans would talk about that. I mean, we all know there's players you don't like, managers you don't like, and players over certain points. Now, another double substitution for Exeter. Kevin McDonald has come on. So, yeah. And also coming on, there was another substitution in there as well.
Sonny Cox.
That's right. Sonny Cox coming on. So the ball is played up through the middle, and Exeter City have it at the moment. Yeah, with Jack Macmillan going off, and it's out for a throw. It comes in from Chesterfield. It's back to Thompson. We've got 7 minutes to go, and Grimes plays it back to Thompson. Thompson spreads it over to the far side. Chesterfield knocking into the middle. Banks back to Williams, back to Thompson. Forward it goes up towards Grimes, and then knocked down this right channel, but Kramer's coming across, and Kramer, he's made a slip. It's come away from his feet. An opportunity for Chesterfield here. There's the shot, but no real trouble at all for Whitworth, although he did fumble it slightly. In the end, it's cleared away by Kramer. Unusual. It was literally a trip by Kramer. He slipped over his feet. Unusual mistake from him, and Chesterfield will get the ball in again, but you kind of felt that Dobra should have done more with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not to take it away from Whitworth, because he had a great save there, but yeah, it's a mistake from Kramer, and you would have expected at least a strike at full stretch for Whitworth to save. I'd just like to apologise for not mentioning Kramer, because obviously now, since not mentioning it, he's made 2 mistakes.
Yeah. Way it goes, isn't it? Maybe I've got to take him off my list. Yeah. So free kick to Chesterfield. Useful position this. They've got most of their team in and up on the edge of the penalty area. Exeter with everybody back. Ball comes into the box, although that kick was wild, and in fact it's gone straight out without touching anyone. It's gone wide.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
You tend to sense that when you make mistakes like that, the team has half given up.
Yeah,
I know that's probably a bit premature, but
no, I agree. And it's more so the reaction. Players just walked away, going, "Okay, it's what it is." You know, like there was no kind of accountability there on the ball from players or the individual going, "Yeah, that's my fault. Come on, let's get the next one." But exactly as you say, there's kind of that.
I guess mentally for the teammates as well, when that happens, it's sapping, because you get a good opportunity and you just absolutely waste it like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the ball over to the right. Ali keeps the ball in play, looks to go inside the defender. He's still there. Sweeney's making an overlapping run. He looks for Sweeney. He finds him. Sweeney, quick ball in. Has to be hammered away quickly by Chesterfield, but they're still under pressure. In the end, the ball rolls out of play for a throw after it came after an extra player, down by the corner flag. But again, for a moment, the Chesterfield back four being reminded that Exeter are still there and are going to cause them problems every time.
Yeah, it's a good run by Sweeney as well. That third player run on the outside, giving his famous right hand to the left hand, cross into the box, which was just threatening, and Chesterfield have done well to defend it. So, goal kick then. We're into the last 5 minutes of normal time in this match. Exeter 2, Chesterfield 0. Feel that FA Cup draw is getting closer, and an extra player is down, which will slow the match down as well. All of this, of course, goes against Chesterfield, because, I mean, at the moment you sense they're not on it at the moment at all, and it's a shame. The first 10 minutes of this half, you're thinking, here's the game now. They've brought it back. They've got nothing to lose, and as I said earlier, as the game's gone on, Exeter have grown in confidence and building more and more, and Chesterfield just, you're not seeing that hunger from them that we did against Brentford as an example. You know, we saw against Brentford, not Brentford. I got my words wrong there. But the last round, we're seeing a lot of kind of tenacious and ambition and that doesn't matter attitude, whereas Chesterfield today, I haven't seen that from them. I've seen sparks of it and moments of it, but not enough to threat Exeter enough.
Well, match of the day in the FA Cup today, Crawley 3, Lincoln 4. It's Accrington 1, Swindon 2, although Swindon are down to 10 men. Barnsley, Bristol Rovers 0-0. Cambridge 1, Wigan 1. Leyton Orient 0, Oldham 1. Morecambe 1, Bradford 0. Bradford have had a man sent off. Peterborough 2, Peterborough 4, Notts County 2. Salford 2, Cheltenham 0. Stevenage 0, Mansfield 1. Stockport 3, Brackley 1. Walsall 0, Charlton 2. So that's the latest scores from the FA Cup. We've still got a stoppage here at St James Park. Brentford 4, Leicester 1, Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Ipswich 0, and Wolves 2, Bournemouth 4. And Bristol City have just got a 4th goal against Argyle. So that means in their last 2 away games, they conceded 10 goals. 10 goals.
It's a tough day in the office, isn't it?
It is a tough day at the office.
The thing is with Argyle, like at home, as you say, that they play well. They're still conceding here and there, but it's not the same levels as that. But I find with Argyle, you're seeing once one goes in, the next couple of goals usually come in quite quickly after that first one. It's like they have 10-minute spell of not having any luck with their defensive back line.
So you suggest that the problem there is psychological?
Well, potentially, because there's opportunity there. They're good players, right? Like they're not in that league for not being good players, but there's just, it's the moment of being in that little rut where when one goal goes in, it's kind of, oh, here we go again, and then you get that second or third goal go in such a short space of time. Yeah, I reckon it is a bit more psychological than what most players would probably put out to be.
Well, Jay Bird, who was the injured player, is off the pitch for the minute, still receiving a bit more treatment. So Exeter temporarily down to 10 men. And here come Chesterfield. Challenge goes in. They've won it back, Exeter. And McDonald's Decent ball into Daw. That's a lovely pass. Ali on the right-hand side with acres of room, charging in on the side of the penalty area, loads it in low. And in the end, one of the defenders didn't want to wait for the goalkeeper, didn't want to take the chance. He's just kicked it out into behind the byline. It's Exeter City's 7th.
Yeah, the
corner.
vision on Doyle there, fantastic. He's picked it up middle of the box. He's got his back kind of to goal still, and he's still managed to pick out the ball on the right-hand side to Ali and placed it perfectly in front of him.
McDonald for Exeter City. To Sweeney, to Ali with his back on goal. He's inside the penalty area. He's inviting players onto him, but he's given it away in the end. Oh, good challenge going in quickly. Still Chesterfield struggling to get it away from their penalty area. And Doyle putting under the pressure. They'll get a throw now just to relieve the pressure for a moment. But we're into the last minute of normal time now. Clearly there's going to be quite a bit of time added on. We've had some stoppages through injuries. But it comes in, and Chesterfield will hammer it upfield, but there's no one there. Ed Francis just takes his time and will run it across the middle of the Exeter half and knock it over to Kramer on this near side. So we're into the last minute, as we say. Whitworth has it. Whitworth will chip the ball over to Sweeney. Sweeney brings it down neatly on his chest. Sweeney knocks it forward, one for Ali to chase to put the defender under pressure. In the end, a bit too strong. Thompson will collect on the edge of his penalty area, and he will bowl it out over to the far right-hand side. Here comes Chesterfield over on the right. Chesterfield take it over the halfway line. They'll put it up the channel. They'll try and come inside with it. They still have the ball at the moment. They'll push it back out to the wing on that right-hand side. They'll get the cross in, but Whitworth with a double punch. Thought he was going to try and catch that actually, but he takes the double punch. 6 minutes of time allowed for stoppages. That's to be expected, I think.
No, 100%, yeah. There's been a lot of stop-start play. Definitely that sort of decision.
So,
just seeing on the field there as well, Jay Bird's had his shirt changed, so I'm guessing there was some sort of blood.
Just break off because Chesterfield are giving it away cheaply, and now Exeter City are bursting forward again. There's the shot on goal. Oh, it's just crept wide of the post. There's no number. I think that's Jay Bird, isn't it? Is that a shirt change? Because there's no number on his back.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's something to do with blood on the first side, because his shirt has been changed since he's come off and then come back on.
Just wasn't sure for a second. As a player running forward, there's no number.
But a great drive, shows his power on the field. You know, he's really getting head down, dug deep, very similar to what we saw earlier in terms of Chesterfield still playing such a high line. There's so much space in behind if they can get the ball perfectly matched to that opportunity, and it's close.
So, corner kick to Exeter City. It's their 8th of the match. And, Woods comes forward, inviting the close one, and yeah, they're going to do it. Although, it's a neat move this to the corner of the penalty area. They're back in behind the line. Doyle with the cross into the box, an overhead kick to clear it away from Chesterfield. Bit of a touch from the goalkeeper to keep it away from his goal mouth as well. And it's an Exeter City throw.
You know, it's nice seeing it as well sometimes, where you just see the ball's not just being hit into the box, it's trying to be worked up play, move the defenders around to create something, and that's what we just saw then. It's just a little bit of intricate play before that ball then kind of gets delivered into somewhere.
Bird pulls it back to Ali. Ali has had a very good game today, there's no doubt about that. Now Kramer inside the centre circle, long ball back to Whitworth. We've had 2 of the 6. Whitworth just pushes it to Ed Francis. Francis up the left side in towards... Oh, foul.
They like fouling on that side, don't they? It's Harper this time.
Harper just chopped to the ground. And free kick Exeter. Ed Francis. And Kramer. Kramer slots the ball in towards Sweeney. Sweeney into the middle. Cox with a neat turn, but Exeter took too long on it there, and they're giving the ball away. Here they come again, but Tristan Kramer reads it, takes the ball. Kramer inside, flicked forward by McDonald. Bird will put the defender under pressure. Bird keeps the pressure up, he's held on to it, and he's done very well to find Ali out on the right hand side. Ali now going up against the fullback, sends the ball in, shoots on goal. A double punch away from the goalkeeper, and in the end they have to scoop it away up to Will Grigg. It's knocked back. Chesterfield have it. They'll launch it long over to that far side. Vincent Harper doubling back to make sure he gets there before the attacking player. Harper was fouled. Free kick Exeter.
Yeah, we go back again though, Ali getting that ball and doing something with it on this right hand side towards goal, and this time getting a shot away. It's a good save by the goalkeeper, but it's still looking positive, isn't it?
Well, we welcome listeners who are listening to the Plymouth Argyle Bristol City match. We're here at St James Park, where Exeter at the moment look like they're on their way into the third round of the FA Cup. They have a 2-0 cushion against Chesterfield, and at the moment it's still City pushing forward. Chesterfield in the latter stages of this game, I think since the second goal has gone in, it sort of killed them a bit. They've lost their heart. There was a lot of battle at the start of the second half, but since that second goal has gone in for Exeter, Chesterfield have not really looked at the races in this one. At the moment, Ali for Exeter just winning the ball back. I think he's waiting for a free kick. He's not got it, but now here's Sonny Cox. Cox, on the edge of the box, tries to slot it through to Doyle, couldn't quite get there. But Chesterfield will now try and bring it away over on that right-hand side. We're into the last 2 minutes of time allowed for stoppages as Chesterfield have it on the halfway line. They'll move the ball around. They'll send it to Grimes inside his own half, up towards Banks. Banks switches it out towards the left. They still have it, Chesterfield. Back to Banks on the halfway line. Banks looks around, decides to drive a long ball over to that far side. They've just kept it in play. Harper goes over to make the challenge. The ball is just slotted down the line. This is with Mandeville, the substitute, but the challenge goes in. It's gone out for a throw to Chesterfield down near the corner flag.
And in and around that ball there's chaos, there's a lot of movement and it's doing well, but outside of the ball there's such limited movement by Chesterfield. It's making it hard for them to create anything.
Now Chesterfield again looking to try and get the ball across. Exeter City concede what is only the second corner they've conceded this afternoon. We're into the last minute. We've had 5 minutes of time allowed for stoppages. Chesterfield are moving players up for maybe a late moment and a late flurry. That's a terrible corner. It's low, it's straight into Vincent Harper, and Exeter clear away. It's what I said earlier actually about that free kick. They've lost their heart.
Yeah, they have completely. The heads are down. There's even players that have just run off, their head goes down straight away, and they just lack of care it looks like. And you know, I'm saying that from what I'm seeing from body language. I don't know what's happening inside the camp, but it just does not seem there's any motivation at the moment on the field.
Chesterfield still have it. We've got 20 odd seconds left, and Chesterfield will send a diagonal ball out to this side. I have to say, I mean, Will Griggs been on the pitch for the whole match and we've not seen anything of him at all. And you know, bearing in mind, £4 million superstar not so long ago.
Yeah, it shows though, the flip side of that is showing how well organised Exeter City have been.
Well, there's the full-time whistle, and Exeter City are through to the third round of the FA Cup, and Monday's draw, and the Grecians have got to be very pleased with that. Yes, they had maybe an uncomfortable 20 minutes in the second half when they were leading 1-0 as Chesterfield tried to put the pressure on, but once that second goal went in from McGuinness, it's been game over really. They've not really had much to show as the game has pushed on into the latter minutes, and in the end quite a routine 2-0 win, which was a far cry from the 5-3 against Barnet that we saw in the first round. I think Chesterfield are going to be disappointed with the way they played today, but for Gary Caldwell's men, after the disappointment of the defeats against Birmingham, Wrexham and the draw against Lincoln, this I think they'll be very, very glad to have seen this one off, and now fingers crossed a big money tie in the third round.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, you look at it on paper and you go 2-0 through to the next round, but it's a clean sheet, it's 2 goals, there's not real threats to find. Any defending like errors that were caused were from us, not from them creating good opportunities. Going forward, there's so much positivity going forward. It's just that final little aspects of the game which they can work on that, because you know, the last few games that they've not had those opportunities, so they've probably not worked on them as much, but now they can go way back to the training room and go, right, we'll get into these areas, where do we work next? But first 15 minutes for me, I thought Exeter's been played really well, and probably the best I've seen them play so far in terms of how well they were moving the ball in and out of spaces. Then it slacks off. Second half, as Chesterfield got more and more kind of heartless out of the game, Exeter came out of their shell again, and we saw more and more excitement as the game came on. And yeah, they deserve to win today.
I think what impressed me is Exeter City. I mean, 1-0 up. I mean, a home side that's in a league higher shouldn't defend. but I was, shouldn't be playing on the defensive. But I think this was one of those matches where Gary Caldwell has clearly decided that attack is the best form of defence against this. And the fact that Chesterfield were on the back foot and having to deal with Niskanen and Ali, who were causing them all sorts of problems, and Aitchison as well with all of his industrious work in the middle. In the end, that was just too much for them. And players like Will Grigg barely had a touch. I'm sure losing Paddy Madden before the game even started has probably hurt them. That wasn't part of their game plan. But of what we actually saw, the players that were on the pitch, Exeter City are just going to be very proud. They've done a very professional performance this afternoon to see them off.
Yeah, and you could look at it from looking at the midweek game against Birmingham, saying that Birmingham was outclassed, but they were the better team, right? Whereas today you look at it and it's the complete opposite. Exeter today were the better team and they deserved to take away the win today.
So thank you very much for this afternoon. So here at St James Park, the third round beckons. The fans are celebrating. It's finished here, Exeter City 2, Chesterfield 0, and with Magennis scoring and Kramer, there wasn't really much problem for Exeter this afternoon.